You just have to accept that and have a good time. But to think that, oh, this is an outrage, they need to fix this, I just don't believe it's going to happen.
Agreed. I mean, I'm wholeheartedly, I didn't miss it. I'm glad, as you said, you weren't tethered to it.
Yeah.
I forgot that it was even on. Father-in-law gave me a shout. I was like, hey, did you see Kevin Durant get nutmegged? And I was like, no, I did not. He's like, what are you watching? Like, man, I'm watching something else, man. I can't remember what. I wasn't even watching nothing. I think I was working on something. But yeah, absolutely. There is nothing at this point. Pro Bowl for sure. You know, Pro Bowl's kind of been, I guess,
a flag football game.
Yeah, it has. It's been audibled a few times over the last, couple of years, and flipped from before the Super Bowl, post Super Bowl, like all kind of different things. The NBA All-Star game has kind of jumped around, East versus West, international versus the world, draft picks. I'm with you, man. There's really nothing off the top of my head that's really going to bring me back to watch it. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's it for me. It doesn't bother me. I don't feel outraged. I know Kendrick Perkins today, and I guess this is what he's supposed to do.
Yeah,
he said that the players where it was a disgrace, to all stars of the past. And first of all, Kendrick Perkins has been on this show, and I know he's friends with Drapes, but what if I want to know anything about an all-star game? Isn't he like the last person I'm going to talk?
He said 14 years, and I've never been in one, and you should hold it to a higher standard.
Yeah.
The difference is LeBron's been there 20 years.
Yeah.
And you have all the Steph Currys and KDs, and all these guys are, 9, 10, multiple time all-stars. And unless you're Ty Maxey or, someone like that of that stature, which I can't even think of another one for the first timer off the top of my head, then it's all the same. And a lot of it, and why do you know this? One of the things you always get about, and we have this conversation with the Super Bowl, is it more fans or is it more corporate? Like, who's watching, who's attending? And Drapes has been on, as said, the last couple times he's been, it seems like it's more corporate, not enough fans.
And he was there last year.
Right. Salt Lake, right?
Yeah. So it's a little surprising to me that we have this same reaction every year, this reaction of outrage and surprise. And it's just the nature of the game right now. And I remember when the commissioner of the NFL talked about, we're going to stop having this game, like that was a threat. And, the players like, okay, the NFL, obviously, they're not going to do that because they still, even though now the Pro Bowl is literally flag football and then a bunch of other, games of, grab ass, that they had better ratings than the NBA All-Star game. And the NBA All-Star game ratings were actually up, Jay. They were up 20% this year. So it's like, why do they do it? That's why they do it.
How though? Why though?
People,
what for though?
There's nothing else on. And people, there's no baseball yet. Football's done. It's like, oh, it's the All-Star game. All right. So 20% increase. The Pro Bowl games, that's a skills competition, flag football, that had 5.79 million viewers 2 weeks ago. And then the NBA All-Star game had 5.5 million viewers. And those are pretty healthy numbers for anything. So, the NBA can rant and rave, but people watched it. And then, next year we'll have some other cockamamie plan about this will fix it, making competitive. No, it's not gonna. That's just kind of where it is right now. You either have to accept that or just stop having all-star games, and I'm fine with either one, frankly.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm fine either way.
It's kind of one of those things where it's okay to recognize the guys. It's okay to recognize the situation and then give them the bonus that goes along with it. Let's go through the process. But as far as physically playing the game, literally playing the game, I'm pretty sure there's some people, as you said, 5 million people who watched it and enjoyed it. I guarantee there's some people who still enjoy the weekend, but I'm pretty sure there's an overwhelming amount of, fans of the NBA and sports fans who probably be like, it is what it is. I don't really need to see it.
Yeah. There's no defense, so it's not basketball, but it's been that way to varying degrees for a long time. And now it's just it's almost like we're not even going to pretend we care anymore. So there you are with an all-star game, and thank goodness it's over. The worst thing about the all-star game now is that we have that longer all-star break. Used to be, okay, you get the game, whatever, a couple days, and you're back at it. I think they used to start on Tuesday again. Now we got to wait till Thursday for basketball to start. I don't like that at all.
Do something with your life, White. It's okay.
I know, but it's the NBA, and this is when we need the NBA. Football has left us. baseball is we have a complicated relationship with baseball.
Absolutely.
I think even you do.
Yes.
Yeah, and you play it at a very high level.
Very true.
So we're still, that's a treacherous and tricky and slippery slope. But basketball should be there for us now, and it's not. And it angers
These
me.
guys need a little rest. They need a blow. They need a little something.
That's not my problem.
You don't care.
They get load management. You can't have it every which way, right?
Well, that's true. That's true.
But I understand. You're right.
I mean, it's kind of one of those things, and I understand you're yearning for sports. You're yearning for competition. Look, you can watch a little golf. A little golf this past weekend. You're a golfer.
Yeah, but they don't start again till Thursday because they were in LA, right? I watched a little bit of, a little bit of that.
Got a little soccer jumping around here.
Okay.
You're not tied to it?
I don't know.
I'm
not bad mouthing. I'm just kind of, I don't
know.
The college basketball, of course. Yeah.
College hoop.
Is kind of, they're trying to convince us that they're heating up. March is right around the corner, but it's like,
It's a week away. You don't care.
March is a week away?
What's today's the 20th, right? Week and a half.
Getting there, huh?
Yeah. 29 days. Right. We're in a leap year.
Closer than I thought.
Yeah, come on now, brother.
Yeah. All right. So the final score of the All-Star game was 211 to 186. And the All-Star game is cooked. And that's just, if you enjoy shooting, go watch it. And if not, I don't want to hear about the complaints and how they're going to fix it. They're not going to fix it. It's not fixable. So enjoy it or just shut up about it.
True.
Now, are you happy that, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. You happy that Steph beat Sabrina?
Absolutely. I'm all for it. And I was on record as saying I was hoping he would crush her, which he didn't. She had a very, very good showing.
She did.
I mean, she shot lights out, but you're talking about the greatest shooter to ever touch the basketball floor that we've been able to see. I'm pretty sure there's somebody on somebody's, blacktop somewhere in the middle of nowhere who's been a great shooter, and we just never, for whatever reason, got to see that person. But as far as when it comes to professional, Steph is by far, hands down, the greatest shooter we've ever saw. I think we saw that again. He got hot on the last 3 or 4 racks, and he just turned it on, flipped the switch. I mean, and what's amazing to me is that it was 5 balls a rack, and you have 1, 2, 3, 5 racks, and then you have you have 6 ball, right? And then you have like the 2 kind of sprite shots or whatever they call them.
Sure.
There you go. And so those the fact that he can hit like 18 out of 25 and that's amazing.
It is.
That's a lot of shooting.
Mm-hmm.
And constantly do it. Not just, that was one round, and I know there wasn't rounds, but he's a 2-time winner of the 3-point contest. And the fact that he's done it numerous times over and over and over, it's crazy, man. You got to show respect.
Kenny Smith caught a lot of flack because he said she should have been shooting from closer. And I believe his explanation. I really think he meant that it's only fair for her if she shoots from closer because that's where she shoots from. And a lot of people thought he was taking a shot at her. If he did, I don't think he meant to. He was just saying, look, that's not where her 3-point line is.
Yeah.
So she's not used to it. But to her credit, and she said she didn't want to, so he probably should have just dropped it there. But instead he's like, no, she should have shot from there. So he's still, drawing some fire for that. But good for her. Now, I don't know if the balls were the same size, but it doesn't matter.
No, she shot women's ball.
Okay, that's what I figured. But it was incredible, and I guess that was the highlight of the weekend, such as it was.
Yeah, I think so. That and the fact that Dame won his, back-to-back 3-point competition. I think those were the 2 things that most people were really talking about. And after that, it was more or less like the off-the-court stuff. LeBron talking about the Warriors, possible trade that could have happened. Trae Young on what's his futures coming up. You like most of the things that were in the news were off the court. On the court, in reality, it was just, Steph and Dame.
Except for the court itself.
LED.
Which again, as I said last week, not a huge fan. I don't know how you felt about it.
I didn't see the game. The
game they played on just a normal.
Okay, got you. I would say
because that would be disgraceful to play the All-Star game on that court.
I would say from what I saw, I'm in. It doesn't matter to me. Kind of like what you're saying. I'm not tethered to it. I see them pulling it out for All-Star, like a summer league thing, a competition, or something of that nature. That's cool, no problem. Spice it up a little bit. Beyond that, I ain't care less.
To me, it reeks of desperation a little bit that you got to have a light up court to try to get me to watch. It's like, well, what's wrong with your product that you can have a light up court?
Marty, I'm starting to feel that you dislike All-Star Weekend instead of you kind of being impartial to it. Yeah.
I used to like it, and now it just bugs me for a lot of reasons. And I'm thrilled that it's done. And anybody who liked it and had fun with it, good. That's great. I'm happy for you.
Why does it bother you?
I just
let's get to the root here. Let me put you on the couch. Let me go ahead and get my tablet out, and let me ask you a few questions. Why does it bother you?
It's unnecessary, and I think it's disingenuous because it purports to be something that it's not close to being. See the greatest stars in the world. And this year, it's East against West again. Look out. And they don't care. And I would rather watch a JV basketball game between players that care, that are trying to win, than a game between the best players in the world if they don't want to win. And I don't begrudge them that. It's like, you can't trick me into watching this. That's how I feel like. You're trying to trick me into watching something that isn't what you say it is. So good luck, but I'm out.
I think the branding, the pure words of what it is I can understand where you're saying, where it's like, look at me, the Ringling Brothers Circus, come out, check out the, the big top and all these different acts. And then you get in there, it's like, well, we know the animals are no longer there because of, certain situations, and they probably shouldn't be there. Let me put that on record. But the other part of it is like, I came to watch, the dancing, penguins or whatever the case may be. And they're like, oh, well, they're not the penguins. They're dogs dressed as penguins.
Yeah.
And then, I came to watch the man pull the sword out of his neck, and he's not pulling the sword out. He pulled
the sword out of his what?
Out of his neck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, out of his neck. And then all of a sudden, now he's just pulling out a butter knife. So I get what you're saying. Yeah. I understand it. But I think the pure, I guess the facts of it is look, they are the stars of the league. They are playing, literally, they aren't playing hard. What you want as a consumer is you want to see these guys go at it for real.
Either they go at it for real or we just don't have the thing.
Okay.
And if
there's no in between.
The way it is now, and the way it is now, it's like, that's fine. Good for you. I'm just not on board with it.
Got you.
That's all.
Okay.
Yeah. It used to be All-Star games. The first All-Star game, according to legend, baseball All-Star game 1933 was for the fans. Here you go, fans. Here's a game where you get to see all the best players against each other. And now with free agency, we get to see that all the time. And I don't think it is for the fans. It's for really, it's for the players. And that's fine. But if it's not for me, I'm not interested. I'm glad it's over. And as I say, I'm glad if you enjoyed it, you did. And the Sabrina thing, if you have an All-Star weekend and there's one thing that we're going to talk about down the road, that's great. And we obviously are going to be talking about that for a long time. When we come back, what the standings and the schedule say about the Kings second half reality with Jay and Waddy. Sactown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
And a handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10, 5, touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
Dr. Ken Howachek and kinesiologist Kelsey Graham discuss the Good Feet store.
The foot has a lot of detail. It has a lot of complexity. There's a lot that can go wrong. A lot of problems start in the foot and end up elsewhere. Knee pain, hip pain, back pain. When aligning the feet properly, we can see relief elsewhere. And that's the beauty of the Good Feet arch support. It can place the feet into their ideal position and gives them the balance, the support, the comfort, and the relief of the pain. The bottom line is that the Good Feet arch support can be a highly effective pain relief solution when nothing else has worked.
The feet have a really big impact on how the rest of the body moves. The knees, the hips, the lower back especially. If the foot isn't properly aligned, all of these joints are going to function incorrectly. That results in a lot of muscle tension and chronic pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that the right arch supports can put the foot in its proper alignment. So all the joints up the rest of the body will be aligned properly as well. And when the body's aligned, we can reduce the risk of injury and chronic pain.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Modesto, Stockton, and Vacaville for a free fitting and test walk.
Time to check out Capital Casino, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. Sactown Sports.
Coming up, bottom of the hour, it's Whitey and Jay today, and Drape's back with us tomorrow. But bottom of the hour, we'll be talking to Mike Testa, CEO of Visit Sacramento. You know, Jay, our show Friday, we spent a lot of time talking about a potential A's move here, and there have been a number of things that have been reported since even then, since Friday. So we're just going to check in with Mike, who is not privy to the details of these negotiations, but we're going to try to get a sense of where Visit Sacramento is in terms of a potential A's move here, where Visit Sacramento is in terms of improving our major league profile. I know that's kind of a focus of the city. We'll see where some of that is right now, and then we'll just have to sit tight on this whole A's thing.
Yeah, it's funny, as I was talking to Mike a little earlier, and one of the things I said to you and him is, and I mean, you know, to pull back the curtain, no one knows what's going on with the A's. Like zero. And when you speak to, you know, Mike, the type of people like Mike in the mayor's office, and, you know, we reach out to some of our insiders and everyone's hands are in the air. Like, I don't even know, you know. It's interesting. And so what the A's spin, one of the things that there's been a bunch of spinoffs that we've had this conversation, and even, you know, kind of jumping back to the Republic, Whitey, is like, I think the overall conversation really is Sacramento ready for a second professional league, you know? And so I think that's something to ask Mike about.
Yeah, well, there was the report from The Athletic that we talked about Friday that said Sacramento is the front runner to get the A's on an interim basis. Where did that come from? Didn't come from Sacramento, so It came from the A's, presumably. And then there was another report the next day.
The very next day.
Yeah, that said, they're focusing on staying in Oakland. It does sound like we're being leveraged a little bit here.
Of course, which is
no surprise.
Yeah.
Disappointing.
But the other part of that, and I guess this for me is the great part about it, and hopefully, you know, the city feels this way, is to even be mentioned in those conversations lets you know we should be close to, you know, something. And I think that's part of the reason I having Mike on is, like, you know, he is the CEO of Visit Sacramento, and he has his hands into, you know, all these different things. I don't want to say single-handedly, but he was, you know, very instrumental in bringing the strongest man of the world, you know, competition here. And so, which has been here twice, I believe, now in Sacramento. And so, like, when we have, you know, worldwide competitions and events come to Sacramento, it's interesting to see where we even sit on the grand scale of what's next.
Yeah, raises our profile. But One of the benefits of that, we'll talk to Mike about that bottom of the hour. Thank you for your feedback on the YouTube chat, on the text line, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Ryan Williams Art says, Whitey, a light-up court to draw attention. How ridiculous. Hey, on another note, do you like our Nickelodeon Slime Time NFL broadcast? Pretty cool, right? I should have, because I know SpongeBob was part of it. I think Mr. Krabs, I didn't see much of that, Ryan Williams Art, but thank you. I know that's been ongoing. That's different though, right? Because that is supposed to be drawing kids into becoming football fans. The light up court, as a kids or just anybody, or are they trying to distract us from what's actually going on the court?
Why do you sound bitter, man? You sound real bitter about your All-Star, because see, you come from an era where All-Star game was competitive.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
But
I come from an era where the backboards weren't even glass yet.
Well, okay. Well, I'm not dating you, brother.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I knew the guy that said, hey, if you cut a hole in the peach basket, the ball will come out. We're like, that's a great idea.
I was an associate of yours. But I can understand where you're coming from. I'm just saying, why do you kind of coming off as like old school? You know, you coming off as a bitter fan, man, and that's not normally you.
I'm not bitter.
That's not normally you.
I'm not bitter.
I think there's an underlining tone there.
Brandon Dietzman said, you know, you were talking about dancing penguins. He says, dancing penguins are dope.
You're not gonna see them.
But what did your circus have? Dancing penguins, but they're really like chihuahuas?
Yeah, they're like, yeah, exactly. They're you know, dancing pugs.
Ultimate Kingpin says the highlight was Jaylen Brown getting booed multiple times in the dunk contest.
Man, that was a thing over the weekend. Like, if there was anyone, I think the two people who really took the losses this past week were Jaylen Brown, or past weekend, and somewhat. I've seen him before, and I'm not trying to give him no love, whatever, no hate, no what. Get your money. That's one thing I always say. Kai Cenat, who's like I don't know if he's a YouTuber. I don't know if he's a socialite. Like, I don't even know what to call Big Dog, but I think him and Jalen took some losses this past weekend. Like, to the point where he was throwing tantrums. He wasn't playing, it sounded like. And then at the same time, Jalen jumped over him, and they were like, well, he's already, 5'2".
Yeah.
Sit down in the chair. He's 3'6", and, just.
Now, I didn't see it, but in a way, Jaylen Brown should have been applauded for being a big star that wanted to be in the dunk contest, right? That's part of the problem, is none of the stars want to do it. And at least he said he wanted to do it. I guess he didn't do it very well, but he was there.
Yeah, I mean, he made it to the finals. He made it to the finals. I saw Jacob Toppin's, 360, whatever he did through the legs. And a lot of people were like, oh, he got, scored. He got an underscore. The score wasn't proper. It was under than what, he's probably deserved. And he probably should have moved on. And Jalen did, some regular dunk and shouldn't have moved on. And I think that's part of it, which is it's Jaylen Brown. You kind of got to push him through to see if something happens. I'll say this.
How about this, too? Get judges that actually used to dunk the basketball
That's
on a
true,
regular
too.
basis.
Yeah, because you got Mitch Richmond.
Great player.
I love the route.
Gary Payton.
GP. Like, none of these dudes were dunkers. Hillman, from Sacramento. Like, none of these guys
he could
were.
dunk, but the other guy,
Yeah, but I mean, he's not known as a dunker, I should say.
Yeah.
Like, I think you kind of have to go with some of the star power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway.
Where's Harold Miner when you need him?
That's a good question. Back to back, right? Back to back.
Yes, I think so.
He won the dunk contest
I think so.
2 years in a row.
Let me make sure.
I almost named a dog after him, but we didn't. Last
Really?
minute we changed it. Yeah. We changed it last minute. Why did we change it?
No, why were you naming?
We had this little puppy,
Okay.
and he's a cutest dog. He looked like he might have been part wolf. And we got him right about that time. It's like, what do we name him?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember we were at the vet's office, and I said, we're going to name him Miner. And the woman at the vet's office, she goes, no, you don't want to do that. I don't know why, but she's like, nah. We ended up naming him Orion. But anyway,
Inglewood's finest, baby.
That's what I remember about Harold Miner. The Kings, how about the Kings here? Second half standings, Jay. It looks like right now, as we get ready to start the season eventually, 2 weeks, whenever it is they start playing again, you've got your 4 teams on top of the West: Minnesota, OKC, the Clippers, Nuggets. Looks like that group is pretty much set. I know a lot of things can change. But that's what it looks like. Then you got your next 6, Phoenix, Pelicans, Mavs, Kings, Lakers, Warriors. So I think right now it's really looking likely that the Kings end up in the play-in. Would you agree? They may not. They may end up 5th or 6th. I don't think it's very realistic at all to think they'll have home court in the first round like they did last year. I think they're probably headed for the play-in.
Yeah, I like where you're going there. I don't really have too much to add as we get closer, I should say. And I know we're looking, we have to preview. I'm going to hold mine for Drapes a little bit more because I think he's going to have a hissy fit. Like, I
get that.
I think me and you are kind of barking up the same tree, going back to Mr. Orion, your dog Orion. I think we're barking up the same tree. And I don't want to spill my hand 100%, but I do think they're going to, I don't want to say limp because I don't think they're going to limp, but I think the West right now, the veteran teams, the Clippers, the Lakers, the Warriors, like some of these teams are getting ready to turn it on. And you can kind of see it, in some of the reaction and some of the conversations. I was watching Paul George's podcast and he was talking about, like now is go time for us. Me and Kawhi had a conversation and me and some of the other veterans, and like it's time to turn it on,
Yeah. I could see how a Kings fan would get angry and say, hey, they're only right now, they're a game and a half out of 5th. And I get that. And so I realize, they could move up into the top 5 or 6. I don't know that they're going to get to the top 4.
No.
Maybe they do. And I also think this is kind of good news the way I see it. I don't know how people feel about the play-in. But the Jazz and the Rockets are probably out of it unless one of those 4 teams ahead of them, including the Kings, if they kick the door open and say, hey, you guys, come on in, then maybe. But I think we have our 10.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Agreed.
We don't know the order, but I think we have our 10 pretty much locked in.
Yeah, I think the Kings are going to be right there battling for 6, 7, 8, probably 5, 6, 7, 8. But right now, as much as I would love to say it, I think you have to trust the veteran clubs because you've seen them do it. And this is something that I've said about the Kings. When I get to see it, it is just like everything we keep on talking about. To change the perception, we need to see it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got to see it last year. Some people could say it's an anomaly. Now I want to see it again a second time. And then guess what? Come next year, you gotta know we're forecasting. Then I'll be like, no, I think the Kings will be a veteran team and move forward. But I need to see it this time around.
The only thing is that really I think would be a probable variable here is Clippers and the Suns and the Lakers at least. Maybe the Warriors too. I mean, they're older teams. If one guy gets hurt, it changes the whole equation.
Absolutely.
And that certainly, let's hope not, but that's certainly more likely with an older team.
I think that's for everybody. If one guy leaves the Kings rotation, the Kings are in trouble too. Like a main piece, a Malik Monk, I don't know. I don't want to say names. Just a person, it's going to be a problem.
Why you want to go there?
I know. That's why I'm knocking on wood.
All right. When we come back, Mike Testa is going to join us, CEO of Visit Sacramento, on the city's big league future, at least a chance at one. That's next year. Drive, guys. It's Jay and Whitey today on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. We've got a day to keep the rain gear handy. Showers on and off again expected through the day with a chance for an isolated thunderstorm. The storms could produce small hail, brief gusty winds, and heavy downpours. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The recent storm has caused dangerous driving conditions for us. The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down. Be alert and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave asking you, are you feeling the pain of paying more and more for your gas? PG&E has increased their rates 4 times in the last 5 years, and the new forecast says PG&E customers may see their bills increase 32% by 2026. The good thing is there are steps you can take to protect yourself from these rate hikes, and better yet, American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler? They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Hagen Oaks is introducing the newly designed Callaway Chrome Tour line of golf balls, offering outstanding tour performance. From cover to core, Chrome Tour is the new gold standard tour ball for players who want the best in distance and feel. Chrome Tour is engineered for outstanding performance with exceptional speed, consistent flight, incredible spin, and greenside control. Ask about the full line of Callaway Chrome Tour golf balls at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
Discover your dream home at Subcontractors United, your source for all home improvement needs. A talented team of home services experts is ready to make your projects a breeze. No more endless internet searches. Find your contractors in one place. Enjoy stress-free service absolutely free, with no hidden costs and no account to set up. Transform your living space into something extraordinary. Visit Subcontractors United today and experience the joy of hassle-free home improvement. Dream big at subcontractorsunited.com.
Are you ready for the deal of a lifetime? This week only during the President's Week sale, get ready to rev up your savings at Elk Grove Kia and elkgrovekia.com. The doors swing wide open every day at 9 a.m., and we're unleashing the biggest selection of pre-owned and brand new vehicles you've ever seen. With so many options to choose from, you're sure to find the car of your dreams. But hold on to your seats, because here's the best part. Our prices are slashed to the bone, and they're so incredible that we can't broadcast them. You have to come down and see for yourself. Don't wait. This is a 1-week only event. And to make it even better, you can drive away with your dream car right on the spot. No waiting, no hassle. Just instant delivery right on site. Remember, the President's Week sale happens this week only at Elk Grove Kia and elkgrovekia.com. Doors open at 9 a.m. sharp. Elk Grove Kia, where the biggest savings and the hottest wheels await during the President's Week sale, only at
Elk Grove Kia.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the
your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
Yeah, Whitey and Jay today. Kyle Draper should be back tomorrow. You know, Friday, we spend most of the show talking about word that the A's could be moving to Sacramento on a temporary basis. Is that going to happen? I don't know that there's anyone. There may not be anybody who actually knows. There have been a number of things that have been reported since then. Our next guest can hopefully shed some light on just what Sacramento is thinking in terms of endeavors like these. He's the president, CEO of Visit Sacramento, Mike Testa. Mike, thank you for your time. And we have no details on this potential deal right now, right?
Yeah, I wish I could be the guy that gave you the details, but I don't have them either, unfortunately. I think everybody's, cautiously optimistic at what a cool thing this could be. But like you said, there's just not a lot of information yet.
What can you tell us about this in general, just Sacramento's efforts to raise its pro sports profile? Where would you say those efforts are right now?
Well, I think it depends on what you're talking about. I mean, obviously the Kings production on the court has raised the profile, right? I mean, this city supported the Kings when they weren't very good, and now that they are, everybody's behind them, and that beam is drawing national attention. Certainly some of our smaller sporting events that we've done, whether it's the Junior Olympics or March Madness last year or NCAA track and field, we've got a really strong resume of a lot of diverse sporting events here. But, as you well know, that the Kings have been our one pro team. Obviously, the River Cats, from a minor league standpoint, and the Capitals from a tennis standpoint in Republic. We've got a ton of great activity here, but, there's just not a lot of opportunities to bring pro teams to your city because they're in other cities.
Mike, I guess one of the questions that I would definitely ask first and foremost is kind of the infrastructure. Is Sacramento set up and ready to house a second professional team, in your opinion?
Again, I think it depends on the sport, Jay. I mean, I think from a baseball standpoint, if the A's would work at Sutter Health Park, then yeah. I mean, obviously that ballpark is got a great record and works very well. I think there's been a lot of starts and stops when it comes to professional baseball, when it comes to football and other things. You don't. The good thing is typically these deals don't happen overnight, where you have to have something built the next day. When we've bid on things like the Olympics or the World Cup, housing a team here so they can practice, we've got some of that basic infrastructure. But if the Olympics were awarded to, say, San Francisco, and Sacramento was one of the sites where venues would be, you'd need a few years, if not 5 to 10 years, to build those facilities. So they generally give you the runway to do that if something big is coming.
Mike Testa is our guest, president, CEO of Visit Sacramento. Mike, here we are talking about, or we were Friday talking about, maybe the A's come here. One report said they were front runners. How significant is it that Sacramento has even worked its way into the conversation to that extent?
Well, it's hugely significant, but it doesn't surprise me. I mean, again, you look at the support that the Kings have had, whether they've had a winning record or not. You look at events like the Amgen Tour California, that cycling event, right? Yeah. When they'd show footage of it in L.A., there's people like every 20 feet standing there. In Sacramento, man, they're 10 deep, just lining the streets, banging on the signs, waiting for these riders to come in. So Sacramento shows up, whether it's music festivals or sporting events. This city comes out and supports those things. So I think that track record helps us. We've got great fan support. And so when somebody's looking to relocate here, that part of the equation is already done. So it doesn't surprise me that we're getting this attention, and it's extremely exciting.
Then, Mike, I guess my question to you would be, as a fan and someone who's been born and raised here, and of course has the opportunity to hear listeners every single day talking about, a yearn for sports, and, knowing you a little bit, I guess, what would be the holdup of why it has not happened? And of course, I'm not just pinpointing the Republic, because that's a league thing, but in your opinion, why has it never happened?
Well, I think a lot of it is size of the market, right? We've got a top 20 media market, which is very valuable, but there are cities that are a lot bigger than Sacramento. And we're in California. There is a ton of professional sports teams in California, and obviously they want to spread those out from a geographic standpoint so that they can capitalize on those TV rights. I think that, like you said, the Republic, man, that was moving forward. That felt like a done deal, and it was a strange thing the way it fell apart, and I think COVID had something to do with that. I think we've had a lot of opportunities that got to the 11th hour and just didn't happen. But, the Kings is obviously a success story there. That a lot of people didn't expect that to happen, and it's been in this market for a long time. So I think we'll get there. Again, I'm somebody who tries to be optimistic with this stuff, because I think this market has a ton to offer, but you just don't know. There's a lot of other factors, and a lot of it comes down to money. Is somebody willing to pay more than investors in Sacramento maybe to get this thing done? It's this stuff's a business, unfortunately.
Mike Testa with us, President, CEO of Visit Sacramento. As far as the MLS saga goes, Mike, to me, obviously it didn't end well for Sacramento, but I think it's an ongoing situation. That's the way I see it. Can you share with us how educational that whole process has been for you and everybody else involved in these efforts?
Yeah, I think educational is the key word there, right? Because it felt like we were right on the place that we wanted to be, and then for a variety of reasons, it just fell apart. I think as a market, from a fan base, we demonstrated the passion, we demonstrated the hunger for this. There was a ton of support for a minor league team, which will translate into something bigger for a professional team. So I wish I could go back and tell you where things fell apart, but that's the challenge with this stuff. It's just there's so many elements in here, and there's so many different pieces that have to come together to make it happen. And when one of them falls away, the deal's done. And unfortunately, that's where this one ended up.
It sounds to me like I'm sorry, Jay. I just wanted to point out. It sounds to me, Mike, like there are other words besides educational that came to mind that you didn't feel was appropriate to share with us.
Well, it's a family radio show. I get that. So yeah, I want to be careful here.
Well done.
Professional here, joined by Mike Testa, CEO of Visit Sacramento. Well, I guess this is something that I can lead to, and maybe you've kind of touched on it already, and there's a lot of moving parts, but this is something I know a lot of people in Sacramento would love to hear spoken about, which is the NBA All-Star Game. It just happened this past weekend here for the NBA. As you talked about, we have a gleaming, shiny new, state-of-the-art facility, one of the top probably 2 or 3 in the NBA most people consider. And at the same time, we got excitement of Sacramento Kings. We have Light the Beam. Why don't we have an All-Star Game here?
It is one reason and one reason alone, and I've heard this directly from the folks at the NBA. We do not have the hotel room inventory in our downtown. You need 6,000 hotel rooms in your downtown area because the NBA wants you to be able to walk out the door of your hotel and be in the middle of the party. So we've got under 4,000 hotel rooms in downtown Sacramento. We're getting there.
Okay,
it's growing.
And wait, real quick, Mike, not to cut you off. Yeah. When you say downtown, can you give me like a geo fence, or does the Thomas count, or is that too far over, or like how far are we moving?
Walking distance to the Golden One Center.
Okay.
That's the challenge, right? Because when we proposed this to them, we thought we could shut down a lane on the freeway and get you from Rancho Cordova directly to the All-Star Game at the Golden One Center. No, you have to be able to walk out of your hotel room and walk to the arena or to the convention center or the street party. Again, they want you in the middle of the party where you're staying, and that's why Sacramento hasn't gotten there yet.
Wow.
The cruise ship thing is not going to work just yet, huh, Mike?
No, we proposed that too, but again, it's too far away. You got to shuttle from the cruise ship over to the party, and that doesn't work for them.
Where was the cruise ship even going to be thrown out? Like, where could we even put a cruise ship at?
We looked at Port of Sacramento. Oddly enough, the channel is deep enough that you could do that. We looked at different kinds of cruise ships that could be brought in, and worked with the folks in Yolo County and the city of West Sacramento. But again, it just didn't meet the requirements of the NBA. And to their credit, they're strict on this. They want it to be a quality, exciting experience, and they don't want one attendee to have a better experience than another. So the rules are the rules, unfortunately.
Mike, this is probably a very ignorant question, but there have been studies apparently that show that if you build a stadium, it doesn't do that much economically for your city. I'm not an economist. I don't know. There's lots of debates on how much a pro team actually helps the city. As you see it, and as Sacramento continues to work towards raising its big league profile, what are the real actual benefits to the city as we move forward with this?
Look, I think it's undeniable. As somebody who's been in this market for over 20 years, who works in tourism, we've seen what the Golden One Center has done, and it's done more than it ever did when it was out in Natomas. Just from the concerts that now come to Sacramento, they used to bypass us and play 2 or 3 shows in the Bay Area with one of those shows meant to capture this market. We're now getting those bands. You look at the Golden One Center, it is in the top 5 revenue-grossing arenas in the country. It grosses more than the Chase Center in San Francisco.
How about that?
So that tells you that the programming is robust and it's generating a lot of people. And I talk to hoteliers, depending on the concert, each hotel are seeing 20 rooms just from that concert. So, the impact into our economy is about much more than just in the walls of the Golden One Center. It's all the business activity that's happening outside of that building. And we've seen a ton of that. And even, as it came out of COVID, I think it was the 7th highest grossing arena in the world, ahead of the O2 Center in London. So people think, Sacramento, we're not doing that much, man. You look at some of these buildings, or Aftershock being the 3rd highest revenue grossing festival in the world. We host that in Sacramento. This market, no pun intended, is making a lot of noise on things like this, and it's generating attention for us.
Mike, before we let you go, this is something personal that I have to ask, and Whitey had a chuckle of this. Coming from South Sacramento, man. No, I'm asking. Coming from South Sacramento, and where I was born and raised, I used to look up at the water tower, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it said City of Trees. And now when I go by there, I don't live there anymore, but as I drive by there now, it says fork to farm.
Farm to fork.
Farm to, look, I don't even know what it says no more, because I'm that hurt. I'm that hurt. Why? What happened?
What do you mean when you were coming up? The Welcome to City of Trees was painted on there in 2009. Like 17, right?
Yeah, I am. I'm actually 15, actually.
But so here's the thing. Look, there are 30 cities that identify as the City of Trees, including 7 in California.
But they're not Sacramento, though.
Surely we are worthy of not sharing our identity with 29 other cities. What we do better than anybody else is grow food, and that's why that's on there. That doesn't mean we're not the City of Trees. It doesn't mean we're not the River City and all those things that are part of our heritage. But we grow most of the food that feeds the rest of the country, and that's worthy of celebrating.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer. I know that. You
have
must been asked that a few times, Mike.
Yeah. Thank you, Mike. Yeah. We appreciate your time very much, Mike. Thank you. Hope to talk to you again soon.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Woo. That was not a bad question, I guess, after all. Yeah. Mike Testa with us. And as far as the A's go.
City of Trees, man.
Yeah. It's always going to be City of Trees to you.
I mean, I just can't get it. I can't even print it. I can't even speak it out anymore. I'm hurt. I'm hurt, Whitey.
What's
City
your
of
gut tell
Trees,
you?
man.
Are the A's coming to Sacramento on a interim basis?
I'm gonna say yes.
Really?
I'm
you don't
saying
want
yes.
it though, do you? Because I don't.
February 20th, 2:43. I'm saying yes.
Mm-hmm.
You?
I don't think they are.
Okay.
And I know it's still possible. And based on what's been reported over the weekend, it sounds like even if the A's go, it sounds like Oakland's major league future is a little brighter than it appeared a week ago. And I'd be fine with that.
Staying in Oakland
keeps a team one way or the other, whether it's the A's go and they replace them, or I would be 100% fine.
So wait, you're saying you would be okay if they stayed there 3 years knowing that they're still leaving to Vegas?
Yeah, but I think what I'm saying is it sounds like even if that happens, that would be done with maybe a little guarantee. There's no such thing as a little guarantee that, Oakland, we're going to take care of you. Sounds like that's one of the big points they're talking about. And if there's some guarantee Oakland's going to keep a team or get a team, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah. If there's a guarantee, there's something on the back end of this where, we scratch your back, you scratch our back. Yeah. The other thing for me, though, would be this. I would hope that you would leave the brand in Oakland as well. Like if you could take everything but the brand, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Like if you say, I would say this, if they took the brand with them and the A's were to get a startup team and they were, the Oakland, whatever, the Oakland Spiders or something like that, it wouldn't feel the same for me.
Right. We can keep the Oakland A's and they can have the Las Vegas Jacks or whatever they are, right?
Aces part 2.
Coolest moment of the All-Star weekend for Kings fans. That was an easy one. It's next here with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division title, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, a breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam Team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with 0 down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
0 down with approved credit. Got a drain that's clogged up? Or maybe a toilet? Or a faucet that just won't quit leaking? Kenny and Jerry here from Bell Brothers, and we want you to know that it does make a difference which plumber you call.
At Bell Brothers, we respect your time by showing up when we say we'll be there. Our technicians are all background checked and drug tested and will greet you with a smile.
They're trained to do the job right the first time, and they carry over 1,000 parts on their trucks, so they won't have to order something and then come back later.
They leave the work area cleaner than they found it, and your final bill will be the same as they quoted. That's why they call us the No Surprise Guys.
So if you need a plumber, it does make a difference who you call. Call Bell Brothers. Our number is 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com. That's 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
37,000, 25, 1. These are the 3 numbers to remember to get the visibility and control you need to make the right business decisions instantly. 37,000. That's the number of businesses which have upgraded to NetSuite by Oracle. NetSuite is the #1 cloud financial system, streamlining accounting, financial management, inventory, HR, and more. 25. NetSuite turns 25 this year. That's 25 years of helping businesses do more with less, close their books in days, not weeks, and drive down expenses. 1. Because your business is one of a kind, so you get a customized solution for all of your KPIs in one efficient system with one source of truth. Manage risk, get reliable forecasts, and improve margins. Everything you need to grow, all in one place. Right now, download NetSuite's popular KPI checklist, designed to give you consistently excellent performance absolutely free at netsuite.com/company. That's netsuite.com/company to get your own KPI checklist. netsuite.com/company.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jake Owen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPfest.com. Brought to you by Coors Light, Garner Roofing, and Roseville Kitchen and Bath.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured,
remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Maida Chevy has 2.9% APR financing on every new 2020 Ford half-ton Silverado in stock. 2.9 for 72 plus great Maida Chevy savings on new Silverado. Online at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's try.
Finance for GM. It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings. Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
The Drive Guys, live and local. Every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Look at that, Jay. You're educating people. On the YouTube chat, Manny Too Legit says, I didn't even know they changed the name of the city of trees. That's lame. Yeah, we're not technically the city of trees anymore.
No,
according
Fork to Farm.
Farm to Fork.
Is it? You sure?
Because it's farm
to Fork. Yeah, that's right.
Fork.
Okay, makes sense. That just tells you. I've just been so upset with it, Whitey. I don't even want to get it right.
It tells you that you're in your brain's like, no, I don't want to get it right.
I don't even
because I don't like it.
The concept of what it is, I don't even want to say it properly anymore. Farm to Fork.
Yeah. Compios aren't all cities farm to fork.
Yes, I would hope so.
Well, no, I mean, not all cities grow as much as, if we feed the nation, supposedly.
He was
ready. I'll tell you this, and you know this.
Yes.
Mike was ready to go, and you came at him with that.
Yeah, he was. He was 100% ready to go. Like 100% ready to go. Yeah. I mean, he was to the point where, he was like, dude, get with it.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Right.
This is the new thing. We're no longer City of Trees, and we don't want to share the same. Basically, what Mike said is we don't want to share the title with another city. Which who else is considered City of Trees?
I don't know.
He said there was 30 other places.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to text Mike and get that information.
I'll say this though. I see your point. I mean, if you ask somebody, hey, where do you want to live? I'll give you two choices. You can live in the City of Trees.
There you go.
Or you can live in the Farm to Fork County, right? Where would you want to live?
City of the Oxygen.
Give me the City of Trees. That sounds great.
Right. Farm to Fork.
There you are.
Ooh.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. JR is back with us on Sactown Sports. Hello, JR.
Hey,
yes.
Dancing Penguins is dope. But I have to say, dancing penguins that are actually pugs dressed up like penguins dancing is actually more dope.
Yeah, it might be.
Pretty awesome.
Interesting concept. Yeah.
I'd pay to go see that over a friggin' All-Star game any day of the week. Whether it was in the Farm to Fork City or friggin' City of Trees, I'd go to either venue.
Either one.
Either one.
Yeah.
Well, we all know, if you don't know, Jay, Whitey screwed up our whole Republic MLS opportunity back in the day, him and Kreidler.
He was just, what's funny, JR? He was just telling me this story during the break.
Really? Yeah, he kept poking fingers and asking experts like, who, what do you think? Is it going to be real? And I was working for someone who pulled out at the last second, and the MLS said, I don't like you. I like San Diego. I don't know why.
JR and Jay. I don't think I've ever told Jay this story. You've probably heard it, JR. This actually happened one of the times when it looked like the MLS was going to come here. I called up the MLS league office and I said, so-and-so from Sacramento, I'd like to talk to the commissioner. He said, hold on. And then someone else comes on and says, oh, you're from Sacramento? I said, yeah. I said, do you wish to invest? And I was like, no. And that's when I knew, oh, man, I don't think this.
Are you serious? Wow.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Did you quickly say, this is Carmichael Dave, and I'd like to leave a message?
I did, and then they hung up on me. Yeah.
Yes, they did. They said, don't drive that RV to here. Like, repaint it friggin' red and gold, what other colors we have that aren't Kings. That was a horrible day. Yeah, as you know, a diehard Giants fan, I would love for it to come in. The one thing I think all the fans are thinking is we don't want the revenue to go to the A zone, or we somehow keep the revenue for the City of Trees.
Right. Right.
We'd want it to stay here in the Farm to Fork capital, and I don't know if you could pull that off. You'd have to make every concession stand a community service kind of donation, I guess. But
would you feel, JR, as a guy who was front and center when the Kings almost left? And I know you felt the pain as much as anybody. Would you feel in a way like you were just turning a cold shoulder to Oakland A's fans who were kind of going through the same thing if we supported the, even if just the short-term Sacramento A's?
It's so close to be no-cow. And there's a lot of A's fans, of course, lots of Giants fans right here in the extended area up the 80. And even though we hate the Warriors now and used to love them, it's a little different. I mean, Seattle, we were bitter, man. And then there was one other location, LA, I think Anaheim, right?
Anaheim,
yeah. It's so bitter. That's LA. I don't know. It feels a little different because of the geographical relevance to it. I will say, talking about dope early on, that Vegas stadium in about 5 years is going to be dope for a baseball place. So I'm going to have to be honest. I can't wait to see what that freaking looks like in 2030. But for now, I totally support it and be good with it. I am all over the map. Love you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know what that stadium is supposed to look like because every rendering I've seen is like they're totally different.
Yeah, it's like something from the Jetsons. Then you see something where it's like, that's iRobot.
Like, we're going to do that just on half of the size of the lot. So that's all. That'll be great.
Yeah. The one thing I've taken from all of this, just working the phones, having Mike Testas, having, Brody Brazil on last week, all these different players that is a part of making the A's or not making, but having the A's relocate somewhere. No one knows.
Yeah.
There aren't details for anyone to report because there aren't any details to report, if that makes sense.
Right.
It's like, what?
It's almost like by design.
Yes.
It's like if we don't commit to anything, then nothing can really go wrong. Nothing can go right either. But yeah, everything is so vague and shadowy that there's just no substance to any of it.
Yeah. It's all behind closed doors. As you said, there's a lot of snickering and whispering going on. But at the same time, we hear reports, which, like you said, probably comes from the team itself, to get out, to put something out there and put a spin on it and get us to talk about it and stay in the news. And, but when it's really all said and done, there's nothing concrete right now.
Yeah. We will get to, as I promised, the best thing to come out of All-Star Weekend for the Kings. And we're all over the A's story and a number of things that have happened just since Friday when we on these airways were talking about, the Sacramento is the front runner. Crazy situation, gets crazier and crazier. And we roll on here from the City of Trees, the Farm to Fork capital. That's your call. Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
City of Trees.
Group is not a law firm. This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. The ugly truth is when you buy a timeshare, you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is this never ends. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Welcome to the President's Day sale, happening now at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Celebrate with us and get huge savings on our giant selection. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company. Sold on report.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got good news. The American Energy Heat and Air $0 HVAC diagnostic has been extended to February 29th. That's right. It expired at the end of January, but want to give you all an opportunity who missed out to get in. It's a $99 value. All right, it's $100, and right now it's free. I don't know how much easier I can pitch that. Normally $100, now $0. Let the American Energy team test your system, your connections, and all the moving parts of that system to make sure it's functioning properly. And you know who's going to be coming to your home? A group of people that have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. A group of folks that have been making the greater Sacramento area proud since 1981. $0 HVAC diagnostic. Normally a $100 value right now at American Energy Heat and Air. Go to AmericanEnergyAir.com or call them to make your appointment. 916-520-9990.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTK-AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sactown Sports.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
With your help trying to figure out whether the A's are coming here for 3 years before they move to Vegas, with your help trying to figure out how much we even want that. I got my A's shirt on here. This is when the A's were actually on Channel 58.
Yeah,
I was doing Fright Night Theater on Channel 58 at the time. And they got the rights to the A's, and they told me, we're looking for an A's guide. I was like,
what you mean looking?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. They said, you used to work with a guy. Do you have his number? And I said, I'll be your A's guy. They said, we don't really want anybody who knows anything about baseball.
What?
Yeah. And I said, this guy that you're talking to, I could tell you, not only does he not know anything about baseball, that's not opinion. He doesn't like sports. And I'm like, oh, well, we're looking for somebody, doesn't really, not really a baseball person. So at that point, some great advice came into my mind, which is some of the best advice I've ever gotten, which is never argue with an idiot because they will drag you down to your level and then beat you with experience.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, good luck. So I could have been the A's guy, but they didn't want anybody who knew anything about baseball.
I've never heard of that. That they didn't want anyone, so they just wanted an entertainment guy.
They wanted, I think,
I
because somebody who wouldn't just speak to fans. It's somebody who you didn't have to be. They wanted someone, I think, who would relate to just anybody. Like, hey,
sure,
this is fun. You should watch. Not like, wow, did you see? Hey, how about Mark McGuire's slugging percentage?
Sure.
So I can kind of understand.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Well, the wild part is because it's happened, we know who that guy is. I would have to go back and really look into it, and we'll have another conversation.
He was a good guy. Okay. They let me do Friday Night Theater for a long time. So
no. We're still talking about the A's part of this, though, not just that.
Okay.
Yeah. And his
name was Rendon.
You're a good guy because you moved on.
Yeah. He was a good guy too.
Okay.
He actually got to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" at an A's game.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So I would have been able to.
Did he become an A's guy?
No, I don't know. I don't even know if he's still in the business.
Wow.
I don't know. But I'll get that for you. It'd be interesting to see if anybody still remembers him. So we'll get back around to the A's in Oakland, a number of things that have been going on this weekend. Apparently, I just wanted to touch on something real quick that I thought was for Kings fans a highlight of the All-Star weekend. And Jay and I did not really watch the All-Star game. And again, we're not going to go back down that road. If you did and you liked it, great. It's not real basketball to me, so I didn't watch, but I hope if you did that you liked it. But Jokic was interviewing. He's being interviewed by the media over the All-Star weekend, and somebody asked him during his media availability. He was asked which player from the past would he love to have been teammates with. Interesting question for Nikola Jokic, maybe the best player in the world. His response was staggering. Jokic said, quote, I'm going to say Peja Stojakovic in today's game would be really good. He was an all-star even when he played, but I think today's NBA, he would be amazing. And that's so true. Peja was one of the great three-point shooters. But back when he played, they didn't shoot that many. For his time, he shot a lot, as we know, and he made a lot. But if he played today, Jay, Peja would be boom, 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 boom.
Oh, yeah.
He would be Curry-esque. I don't think that's an overstatement.
Oh, yeah. Not to just draw away from Peja, but there's a bunch of guys, if they could do it now, the Reggie Millers of the world, the Ray Allens, who got part of this era, but there's a bunch of guys, man, that would be outstanding right now when it comes to being a three-point weapon. Peja was a cold boy. Peja was cold, man,
Mm-hmm.
because he was, he played at a time where 7, 8 3-pointers a game were
like, whoa,
astronomical.
whoa. Yeah,
right?
what, are you crazy?
Yeah, and if you're shooting almost 50% in that, if you're able to hoist 15 times and not even blink your eye, and Peja's hitting 8 to 10, oh man, he'd be a star.
Mm-hmm.
He would be a star.
Do you remember Gilbert Arenas?
Of course.
He was another guy, had tremendous range.
Yes.
But back then, and he played around 2010, around that time, maybe a little earlier.
Yeah, a little earlier, maybe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Some of those shots that guys take now, if you took those shots, it'd be like, well, you're coming out. We can't.
Yeah.
You can't shoot that.
No.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a heat check at that point in time.
Right.
If you're coming up, and I saw this, I want to say, who said it? It was Steph Curry is the best three-point shooter in the game, in the world, but Dame Lillard has the longest range. And I can't remember who just said that over this past weekend. But yeah, I mean, Dame would be pulling up from anywhere. We've seen some of these guys pull up just about anywhere. Just fantastic. Absolutely. There's no doubt about Peja will be a star.
LeBron around 2008 or so, I think he was the first guy to shoot. I mean, not heave, but shoot a 30 to 35 footer. I remember you could watch him and go, someday other players will be able to do that. And now it's pretty common. Guys don't just do that at the end of the half, as we know all too well. We've seen Steph, too many times. Steph can shoot a 30-footer, and it's a legitimate shot.
Oh,
yeah.
like,
yeah. And there's still guys that don't realize, I got to guard them all the way out there.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at some of the stars of today, the Dame Lillards, the Trae Youngs, there's some guys who can pull it up from just about anywhere. And you're looking around, Klay Thompson at the point in time, like, man, where, I loved growing up Mitch Richmond. Mitch Richmond was one of my guys, and it felt like Mitch could shoot it from anywhere. But when you really go back and look at compared to where some of these guys are crossing half court and 4 steps in, just past the paint, the logo, the half court logo, and they pull it up, and it's like, oh, they can hit this.
Mitch was, as I remember, toe on the line guy.
Yes.
And he played in a couple of years. It's not his fault. This is the way it was. But in the mid 90s, where they actually moved the 3-point line in for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't take away from my boy, The Rock.
Well, I'm not meaning to take away from him, legit Hall of Famer, but you're right. Mitch was not a guy who'd be shooting 30 foot.
No, absolutely. No, he was Mitch was a type of guy, and, friend of the show for me. And I've never heard him say this, or I don't think I've ever asked, or, I haven't spoken to anyone close to him, but he was a game of inches guy. And just as you said, foot on the line. But he also was sneaky quick, sneaky tough, physical. Yeah, it's like he put that rotund mound in you a little bit, almost Wayman Tisdale like. But on the block, he'll put the shoulder on you a little bit. He'll weigh on you. He was in great shape, but at the same time, he always seemed like he was a little bit thicker and bigger, solid than most two guards at the time. He just knew how to play ball. He found space.
Yeah. The thing that I'm not sure he gets enough credit for around here, maybe I'm wrong, maybe he does, but he should get more credit for it, is that for that period there when he came here, he legitimized the Kings. They were a legitimate NBA team because, whoa, they got Mitch Richmond.
Right.
Yeah. And he was between that first team that made when they first got here. And then he was also between that and, of course, the Gray Weber teams who also made the Kings, put the Kings in Sacramento on the map. But Mitch was like, man, that is a legit NBA team. Right. They got freaking Mitch Richmond.
Yeah. Yeah. Very true, man. The truth. The Rock, baby.
Also, we found out this weekend who the new Hall of Fame nominees are going to be. And there's a former Sacramento King in there. Other than International Committee, Contributors Committee, Women's Committee, here's a North American committee. Well, the players, there's 4 players that are finalists here. We got Walter Davis. We got Chauncey Billups. We got Michael Cooper and former King, only 1 year with the Kings, but Vince Carter, who obviously is going to make it.
Yeah, Vince should definitely be. Yeah.
Vince Carter, who played longer than anybody else with 22 years. And people would say, what are you doing? You're ruining your averages. And he's like, I don't care. I want to play.
Still want to play.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I just want to play ball.
Keep playing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Vince is a shoe-in.
Yes, no question.
Yeah, he's a shoe-in.
Michael Cooper's an interesting case because he's basically the guy that guarded Larry Bird in the finals.
Yeah, and he's been up for a long time. He's kind of one of those guys who always is getting to the threshold but never can get in. I'll turn that over to you. I wasn't able to see Coop play at his height because I was a youngster, but I do know this. He's a good dude. He's a good guy. I've had an opportunity to work with him when I was living in Los Angeles, and he was pulling at the time Time Warner. And he's been a coach of many different women's teams, college teams. He's been around for a while. But as far as his play, I'm not sure. Is he a Hall of Famer to you?
He was coming off the bench for one of the greatest teams of all time, and one of the reasons they were one of the greatest teams of all time is because when they played Boston in the finals, he had to guard Larry Bird. And you asked Larry Bird, he did a pretty good job. So, yeah, I'd say, yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. He wasn't the individual superstar,
Right.
I don't know if he ever came close to making an all-star team, but Hall of Famer, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chauncey Billups?
Yeah. See,
Really?
I think if I were in charge, I'd pretty much let anybody in.
You're letting them all in, huh?
I pretty much would.
All right. You're not putting
Especially
up
if they won anything.
Yeah, you're not putting up a tough conversation.
Not at this point.
I got you. Man, I think you're a little stained right now with basketball, man. Like I'm just saying, there's some underlining things there, Whitey. You might have to get off your chest about the NBA and basketball.
Chauncey, I'm not sure. I want to walk that one back. I'll think about it, okay? Vince Carter, you're right. There's no question. Yes, Michael Cooper, I would put him in. Chauncey, I don't know. I mean, strong case. Very strong case. All right, when we come right back here, the latest on the Sacramento A's and talk of how the A's may be staying even in Oakland. Next with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com.
Hello, saver. Whether you're saving for that trip to the tropics or saving for an emergency, now is the time to take advantage of Wells Fargo's savings options. Wells Fargo offers savings accounts that can help you save towards your goals. So, what are you saving for? Visit a Wells Fargo branch or wellsfargo.com/save to open a savings account today.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? We have options for everyone. Plus, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make for lower payments. It's no wonder Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not.
Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Time to check out Capital Casino, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Question for you, Jay, on the chat here. JJ, what part of South Sac are you from? It's the Drive Guys here, Whitey Gleason, Jay Johnson. Jay's got a number of things going on here, so he's juggling various duties. We've got the one and only Kyle Draper. He'll be back with us tomorrow after his trip to let's see, Cabo, right? So, Jay, how about it? What part of South Sac are you from? Compia wants to know.
What part of South Sac? I'm from Meadowview area. I grew up on Tamashanner and Matson, right down the street from Mark Hopkins Elementary. I went to CM Gady Junior High, which is now Rosa Parks, and then I went to 3500 Florin Road, Luther Burbank High. Yes, sir. But Yeah, Meadowview area, Garden Block area, however you want to call it. Yeah, that's where I'm from.
And then how did you end up you were in Oakland for a while too, right?
Yeah, I went to school there. So after I left Texas, I wind up going to Hayward. Yes, Cal State East Bay, Patton, all that stuff out there.
Now, isn't that called something else now?
It's called East Bay.
Cal State East Bay.
Yes.
Yeah. How come here, before we get into the whole A's thing, or as we get into the A's thing, I know you're a baseball guy. Why is it that spring training has started and really it doesn't seem like a lot of people care? Is it always that way? Because it seems to me there was a time not that long ago when we'd be more pitchers and catchers. Woohoo!
Yeah.
I know baseball fans are excited, but it just seems like for the most part, people just don't really care.
I would say maybe like the last 10 years or so, it's kind of dwindled down. I do think there's always, the hype of, okay, as you said, pitchers and catchers are reporting, the youngsters are reporting, but I think just baseball in itself, and, we had Seth Everett on last week who kind of spoke to this, man. Baseball is just in a time and a point where it's just super struggling. Like it is struggling right now. And that's all around the sport. Ohtani, has brought some excitement. There's a few different pieces that goes along with we know that the Mets and the Dodgers and the Yankees, all these guys are spending money. That's always something to it. There's always a star. Bryce Harper kind of electrified baseball for a year or two. Trout definitely, when he was kind of up and coming, which man's a while ago now. Doesn't seem that way, but I mean, Trout's been in the league for a good almost 12 years, something like that. I have to go and look, but it seems like there's always one or two things kind of exciting the game, but overall, I just think the love for it is diminished, man. Yes, it really has. It is. And I think that's a long way of answering. Like, February, All-Star football just ended. We're kind of in the middle. I think baseball is one of those things as it goes on throughout the year, it becomes more important to people. Like early in the season, most people don't really care about baseball.
Some people in baseball would tell you that they're on the right track now. I don't know about that. Attendance last year was up.
Yeah.
I think it was up like 9%.
Yes,
They changed the schedule so that you don't have to play – like the Giants and Padres used to play like 19 times a year, and then they shortened that. So you have other teams coming in, so you get a chance to see everybody. Now everybody plays every other team. It didn't used to be that way.
Right.
That seems to be helping. And then with the pitch clock and more stolen bases, 1 year it's too early to tell. But it does seem like there are reasons to be optimistic. I'm with you. I doubt that even the people that run baseball, and this is what Seth was telling us Friday, I don't even know if they think baseball has much of a future.
Which is terrible, man. And it starts right at the top. Yeah. I don't want to, keep piling on the commission.
I thought you loved Manfred. Yeah, that's your boy.
Yeah, I guess, but he just does a terrible job in being the commissioner of baseball, and that's the easiest way to put it. I could go 50 different reasons why he does a bad job, but it just seems like he doesn't care.
Yeah.
It's a job, and I understand that. Some people, there's a job, and then we've heard this, I'm pretty sure you've heard this. We've all heard, find something you like to do, right? Not something that you have to do. Find something you like to do. And I think he really is just like, man, I'm collecting checks.
Yeah.
I'm just doing this because this is part of it. I just so happen to get intertwined into that. But
that makes a lot of sense.
I don't see him. You ever see him smile, crack a joke, laugh? There's nothing to Rob Manfred when it comes to baseball. Mm-hmm. Nothing.
Yeah. He just doesn't understand baseball.
He doesn't
understand what it is that makes being a baseball fan special. Maybe we're, kind of a dying breed. Maybe we're an endangered species, but still there's something kind of cool about it, but he has no idea what it is. So anyway, the Oakland A's, we heard on Friday that the A's were probably moving to Sacramento. Sacramento was reported to be the front runner to get the A's in the 3 years after they leave Oakland before they go to Vegas. Then the next day there was a story that said the A's are focusing on staying in Oakland. That was a story that was in the Las Vegas Journal-Review by Mick Akers.
Yeah.
So the goofy thing here is, that now obviously, we think it's two different sources, but the sources for both stories are from the A's. Because, Sacramento right now is like, we just talked to Mike Testa. Sacramento didn't know anything.
No.
they don't have anything to report other than, boy, we would like to have him here. So they're not the one who's spinning these yarns. So the A's, it appears, are talking out of both sides of their mouths. What a surprise there. We don't know where it is. Scott Osler reported over the weekend in the Chronicle that Oakland is talking to the A's about, and baseball about, maybe we could get another team here if we extend this lease. And then, according to the stories, Oakland, the city and the county, they're saying, well, the A's can't really grant that to us, so we'll have to talk to MLB. And then, the story that Sacramento was a front runner would suggest those talks aren't going well, but there are other reports that the talks are going well. So I don't know.
The part, it sounds very confusing. The other part too to this, and I hadn't really thought too much about this because, you think about it as, look, the league can do what they want, but expansion. Baseball's not in any position
Great
to
point.
expand anything.
Right.
And Seth had said that, and I hadn't thought about that.
I hadn't either, yeah.
Whitey, is like baseball is almost on like contraction. They might need to be bringing a few teams down to the point of, to make it make sense of the A's, of the Tampa Bay Rays, like teams like that, where it seems like there's a struggle every single year to get people in to not only to the stadium, but even to have a payroll. The Royals were in at that point in time. It's funny. Seth was talking about, he said the Rays and the A's were two of the teams that were on, X marks the spot as being one of the teams that they needed to figure out when it came to stadiums and just payroll and overall just pure ownership. Things needed to change. But the Royals were at that point in time. And there's still a couple other teams throughout the league where it's like, the Reds had struggled for a while post, their success in the early 90s. And, we heard about the ownership, and we know they had, different ownership at this point, but it's kind of one of those things where we've seen different organizations throughout time over the last 30 years, I should say, that have struggled to get an arena. We hear Arizona now, which is like, I don't even, what's crazy, Whitey, and as I ramble about baseball right now, it feels like Arizona is new, but they've been around since the mid-90s.
Yeah. Late, yeah, 98 or so.
I think, it's 7, 8, something like that. But it's almost like, okay, you guys do need a new arena. I get it. I understand, and not that it's an urgent need, but I can understand why now you're starting to plan and look 3, 4, 5 years in advance of needing a new arena. It just feels like Arizona's ballpark is still new, with the pool out there in right field. But when you do some research, they're looking for something new.
Mm-hmm. Atlanta, it seems like they've had like 4 new stadiums in the last 8 years.
Tell me about it.
I know they haven't.
Yeah.
And our new boss is a Braves fan, so I got to be careful. But doesn't it seem like they get a new stadium every couple of years? Have you heard of the AASEG?
That would be no.
African American Sports and Entertainment Group. They're in Oakland.
Okay.
They have major plans for development at the Coliseum site.
Yes.
AASEG has offered Fisher at least $115 million for his stake in the site. And so he could, if he agrees to that, he could use that money for whatever he wants it with. And it sounds like the AASEG, they want to have a team in Oakland. There are a lot of things, moving parts, but a number of them seem to suggest that Oakland still has a shot at keeping a team one way or the other.
Yeah. Again, Whitey, I sit here and I battle. If you were to take the A's out of Oakland, take them to Las Vegas, they keep the name, and then you create another team in Oakland. It's like, it's almost Houston Texan like, right? And the Oilers didn't keep the name. They changed the name, obviously, to the Tennessee Titans, but it's almost like that. Or it's like, the Cleveland Browns, which we saw, turn into the Browns again. But they kept the name compared to a different name. And so I don't know, man, because technically I'm not from Oakland. I'm Sacramento, but that's the closest team that one of the closest teams. And I believe Oakland is, by mileage wise closer than San Francisco. Right. So it is the closest team to Sacramento, but I'm not sure if I would be on board for that.
Well, I think what we have to hope for is that Fisher finally gets there's just he gets an offer he can't refuse, and he sells the team, and the A's just stay in Oakland. I still haven't given up on that.
I like that.
And the Las Vegas thing, it's an embarrassment. There doesn't appear to be much of a path for it to succeed. So baseball, if they fall over backward, ham-handedly, they just end up, hey, we got Tampa Bay right there getting a stadium, and look at Oakland. The A's are staying and everything's great. That'd be fine. I still haven't given up on that. As far as our involvement, I still don't even know if I want the A's here. I would go for 3 years, but it's awkward. It feels weird. I still want the A's to stay in Oakland, and it looks like there's actually a chance of that happening.
Of course, anytime John Fisher's in the lead of anything, you still have an opportunity because concrete details aren't put in concrete. Like there are no factuals. There are maybes, a lot of potential things that can happen, but until it's really said all and done, at this point, we've seen, as you said, we may be being leveraged. The city of Sacramento could be being leveraged, to get something sweeter out the pot in Oakland for John Fisher and his organization.
Did you happen to see Jeff Passan? He was on ESPN on Friday. It was when we were doing our show.
Okay.
And they were doing this story about what's going on with the A's in Vegas and maybe Sacramento. And Tony Kornheiser asked him, hey, I thought this thing to Vegas was a done deal. Jeff Passan started laughing. We'll have to find the audio.
I think I did see
he's
that.
Like, ha, ha, ha.
Yeah.
Nobody would be surprised if this whole thing falls apart. Nobody.
Man.
I certainly would not be. When we come back, Brendan Nunez, our Kings insider. Kings in good shape, fair shape, bad shape in the West right now. Brendan breaks that down for us next on Sactown Sports.
Keep it here to Sactown Sports for the Sacramento Kings push toward the postseason.
Get analysis from our local shows, breakdowns from our Kings insiders, and all the thrilling moments from the G-Man.
Keegan, quick catch, quick strike. There's another one up in the lights and in the well. 10 3-pointers made. Keegan Murray putting on an all-time scoring exhibition tonight.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. We've got a day to keep the rain gear handy. Showers on and off again expected through the day with a chance for an isolated thunderstorm. The storms could produce small hail, brief gusty winds, and heavy downpours. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Doug Christie here. It's Folsom Lake Kia's President's Day sales event. Save on new 2024 Kias with low payments, low finance rates, and zero down deals on approval of credit. Shop Folsom Lake Kia in the Folsom Auto Mall.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-952-1155. That's 800-952-1155.
Time is 3:28, and this update is brought to you by Subcontractors United, your source for all home improvement needs. Dream big at subcontractorsunited.com.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com. Brought to you by Coors Light, Garner Roofing, and Roseville Kitchen and Bath.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health Sacramento can help you address the root causes of weight gain, low energy, poor drive, and performance issues. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, we'll give you a free T-check and free exam at Revive Sacramento. Imagine upping your game, losing weight, and getting in shape all at once. Revive can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications, like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. Weight gain and low T are treatable conditions. We know we can help you. Take that first step and book today. You're only one step away from getting in the best shape of your life. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Welcome to the President's Day sale, happening now at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Celebrate with us and get huge savings on our giant selection. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company. Sold on report.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
Yes, and our SactownSports.com Kings Insider will be joining us in just a moment. Drive Guys here. It's Whitey and it's Jay today. Thanks for all the participation. We appreciate you being with us as we get ready for the second half of the season. Eventually, is Brendan ready to go? Yeah, here he is, our Kings Insider, Brendan Nunes. How are you, Brendan?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I have a tough question for you to start with. Which would you rather? Would you rather watch the NBA All-Star Game or watch someone clean out your garage? Go.
Well, I mean, do I have to watch the garage cleaning?
Yeah, you have to watch it.
I guess that's how I feel about both. I'm going to go garage cleaning because it seems like something's being accomplished then. You
Exactly. Yes. That's my answer as well. And I don't begrudge anyone who likes the All-Star Game. Just at this point, Brendan, don't mean to speak for you, but I just feel like I just don't have time for that because it's just nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, fellas, maybe this isn't great, but I kind of more so tried to enjoy my break, checked in a little bit on the festivities and for the most part was disappointed in the way that I expected and just tried not to take too much out of it or I guess be too frustrated because I do understand why it's gotten to this point, but it's probably a little too far, obviously.
Yeah, there's no fixing it, right? I mean, I know there's a lot of people that have a lot of hand wringing and air pulling. And how do we fix it? I don't think you do. Like the Pro Bowl, they never fixed it for all the haranguing about how bad it was. And then they eventually just had to morph it into a game of grab ass. I think that's where we're headed.
Yeah, I mean, they might need to do the same. I think if we got, for example, a one-on-one tournament with all the all-stars that made it. I think that'd be a great thing to watch, or maybe break it down until we get a tournament of 1s, 2s, and 3s or something like that. But, maybe it does need to go the Pro Bowl route if you got to get a little creative and make this look different.
Yeah. So if I hear you correctly, Brendan, you watched.
Yes.
Did you watch Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? Or
say that again?
Did you watch all weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
I did.
You were tuned in.
Wait, you watched so you watched
Celebrity Game and
right.
Did you watch the Celebrity Game?
A little bit. I was getting some food on my vacation and had them change the channel. It was on some nothing,
Okay. All right. I got you. What was the part? Because I think what we're trying to underline, we're trying to get to Whitey's underlining issues with NBA right now, just not let alone All-Star Game, but even basketball, because he even threw a hissy fit about Chauncey Billups and the Hall of Fame and all that type of stuff. What are you not happy with when it comes to the All-Star Game or festivities?
Yeah, probably just even the entertainment aspect, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not even enjoying myself. Like some of these Dame shots are cool. For example, you see guys pull up from deep and things like that, but just pretend to try a little bit defensively. I know we don't want anybody getting hurt. Guys prefer to have a break during this time, but it's just kind of the lack of effort, to the point where even say I'm watching with my 8-year-old little brother and he knows these guys are not trying, it's just almost too obvious. I get why that's the point, but I feel like it just, there's no entertainment in it. And I thought the Elam ending produced a good game. I think that also had to do with the obviously like kind of tragic passing of Kobe. I think added to the motivation of that specific game. That was a good outcome. But for me, it's just got to be that there's not even an entertainment aspect really for me. I honestly, if I didn't cover basketball for work, I don't know that I would have cared at all.
Yeah, I got you. And again, I'm not angry about it or upset. I just feel like, hello, that's what it is all the time now. So if you watch it, that's what you're going to get. As far as the Kings go, Brendan Nunes is our Sactown Sports Kings insider. Kings right now, good shape, fair shape, or bad shape in the West right now, in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, probably fair, I guess, is where I would go there. It's somewhere in the middle of good and bad. I mean, I think there needs to be a sense of urgency, though, obviously, that you want to stay out of the play-in. I think that's going to be the whole conversation really here post-All-Star break. And this team's going to go as far as their core trio, or if you want to call it a quartet and throw Malik Monk in there as well. They're going to go as far as these guys really take them. And that's not to say some of these other guys can't have an impact, but I really think that De'Aaron Fox is the one that stands out to me in the second half. We saw him be a little bit up and down as we got closer and closer to All-Star break there after a super hot start to the season. And I think that they just need him to be more consistent if they're going to stay in this top six, like is going to be so important. But I think they're in a solid spot to do so. They have beaten a lot of good teams. And so while you can look at strength of schedule and, they're top five, this is going to be tough. The other way you can look at it is this is a good opportunity to get a chance to prove yourself. And I think that they've played quality teams at a good enough level and won enough of those that I feel okay going into some of these high caliber games.
Brendan, at this point in time, looking ahead of, I don't want to say the second half, but the last 20 or so odd games on the push at post All-Star break here, what would be, I guess, and give me both, I would say, what would be the ideal situation for the Kings and what would be like, oh my goodness, beside making the play in, but like a team, or if someone was to get hurt, what would you not want to see?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you could put both of those around De'Aaron, like I was just saying, but really, if you need consistency again from Fox and Sabonis, and I mean, Murray and Monk in there as well, but primarily Fox and Sabonis. And I think that if you saw De'Aaron come out and have that look, I feel like you can tell pretty early on in games, okay, is he really feeling it tonight? And if he can consistently maintain that, I think even just for this next handful of stretch of games, and he's going to have his nights, obviously, where shots don't fall and things like that. But I'd like to see him get back to his mid-range a little bit more. I like how many threes he's getting up, but I think that it's just part of the process of him becoming a good shooter is also, okay, well, when is the best time to exactly take those shots? So I don't really fault him for that necessarily, but I do think it could get a little bit better here. But for me, it really all revolves around what are Fox and Sabonis going to be able to do. So on the good end, we'll go if De'Aaron can kind of have that spark throughout most of these final 28 games we got. And on the bad end, I mean, there's a handful of injuries that could be tough, but I also think that if they kind of need to figure out the rotation a little bit here, after Malik Monk, Trey Lyles off the bench, it's like, okay, who can you consistently rely on? I think Alex Len is that answer at the backup center, and Davion's made progress at the backup one, but there's questions there. Is Chris Duarte going to be part of this? Is Sasha Vezenkov going to get some run and maybe be able to carry that over into the postseason once he gets healthy? So I think figuring out the bench and some consistency a bit in that rotation could be pretty big.
After games, I'll go in sometimes and hear the players talk and hear coach talk, and I sit behind Brendan when I do so typically, and he's pretty low key, and Coach Brown and he have a good relationship. So Brendan, I was shocked to read your scathing story at Sactown Sports about what you were just talking about, how Mike Brown needs to get this backup center situation squared away. Why are you after Coach on this? I'm kidding a little bit, but why do you think Alex Len is the guy who really needs to be playing a lot more?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I just don't really know what it comes down to the options, right? It's him versus JaVale McGee or maybe Trey Lyles if you want to throw that in there. And I just don't think there's much that JaVale does better than Alex in my mind. Like, there's the lob threat for Malik that has been good throughout times this year, right? But even in a pick and roll game, I think that Alex sets better screens. is better with dribble handoffs, and still can be a role threat who just gets his guards a little bit more open. There's still a pick and roll chemistry between Malik and Alex Len. And I think defensively, Alex's physicality is better there. But for me, in that backup spot, it's really, outside of the lob threat, which goes in that pick and roll game, and I think Alex just does other things different or goes about it in a different way. I just don't know what JaVale really does better. And it's good to have the optionality, but I would really lean towards Alex.
I'm just afraid one of these after one of these games, you're going to start screaming at Coach, why isn't Alex Len playing? And we're going to have to grab me and Alan and Chris will have to grab you and pull you back. I know you feel very strongly about this, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, you look at some of the numbers, and it's like Alex Len is first in defensive rating when he's on the floor. That's the Kings' best defensive rating. Second in net rating. And, it's small sample sizes, and so take that for what you will. But I thought that a similar thing happened last season. It's that Mike Brown was really searching for that backup 5 spot, and it didn't feel like Alex was getting as much opportunity as maybe some of these other guys. Like I feel like Neemias Queta was getting some burn a little bit before Alex was, and I just think that he's good. I think that he's a solid backup 5. And that getting some consistency there for those guys in the second unit is important. But I do also understand that Mike Brown has said one of the biggest things he's learned from Steve Kerr is the importance of, or the value that you can get in every once in a while. I'm just going to throw some of these other guys in there as well. It keeps them more engaged, not only in practices, but in their individual workouts, thinking, all right, I never know when I'm going to get some burn. I better make sure that I'm ready. And I get the value in that. I just think as the season winds down that, settling into something could be pretty beneficial.
Joined by Brendan Nunez, our Sac Kings Sports 1140
and he's
insider.
Mad today. Wow, he's furious today.
I see it, man. Between you and Whitey and Brendan today, I don't even know where to go. Brendan, I'll leave it at this. Prognosticate for me where you think these Kings end up now that we get ready to start the second half of the All-Star break.
I think they're going to stay out of the play-in, fellas. I do think that I know I said De'Aaron's probably my big X factor. I think he's going to be good. I think that we're going to see closer to first portion of the season, De'Aaron Fox. I hope that this break, and we got to practice later tonight about 5 o'clock. I think typically a post All-Star break is a PM practice for the first one back. So we'll see how De'Aaron got to enjoy his break a bit, but between a shoulder issue and lingering ankle things from years ago or things that happened this year, I think he just kind of had a lot that he was dealing with. And if he can ball out in the way that I'm expecting, I think that this Kings team can compete with a lot of these other ones that are going to kind of be in that 5 to 8 range with them. And I feel pretty good about this is where, maybe the continuity will help you a little bit. This group knows each other well, and I thought they were rolling right before the break, even though there were some tough losses in there.
All right, Brendan. And by the way, how are you health-wise now that you've had your break? Are you 100%? Are you ready to go?
I'm doing all right. it was a Vegas break for me there for a volleyball trip with my little sister, but, made sure to enjoy Vegas a little bit. So it might take me a day or two to get fully back on track here, but I'm good. All
right. Well, thank you for your time. We'll see you Thursday night. We appreciate it. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys.
All right. When we come back, Kenny Smith, former Sacramento King, answering the withering criticism that's come his way as a result of his Steph versus Sabrina comments. Next with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Sacramento County Voter Registration and Elections.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Skies will stay cloudy with a chance of showers and thunderstorms through the early evening. Later on tonight, that activity will diminish. Tomorrow we'll have a mixture of sun and clouds with just a chance of a shower and highs in the low 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA 3 app.
The next election is March 5th. Vote centers open February 24th. Remember to vote early and avoid the lines. Learn more at elections.saccounty.gov or call toll-free 762-8019.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Drapes, Kyle Draper here from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. I'm loving my new EQS SUV. It's the most amazing car I've ever had. In fact, when I'm on the road with the Kings, I can't wait to come back just to hop in that EQS SUV. It's lovely. Now, if you've been on the fence about purchasing your first fully electric vehicle, I'll just say this. Schedule a test drive and see for yourself what makes these vehicles so incredible. Right now, Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is offering up to $10,000 in incentives on new 2023 and 2024 Mercedes-Benz electric vehicles. You'll also receive a wall box home charger and 2 years of prepaid vehicle maintenance if you purchase or lease any Mercedes-Benz electric model. So head on over to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, just 30 minutes from Sacramento, right off I-5, online at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com.
I lock up my Old Spice Fiji aluminum-free dry spray to keep that 24/7 lasting freshness safe for myself. Fresh coconuts, palm trees in the wind. It's like catching waves in Fiji. Actually, I just talked myself into a refreshing spritz of Fiji. My Old Spice is missing! No!
If you're looking to get a new car, you could really cut expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive. Sure, you love your old car, but you know it's not normal to give instructions on how to open the window. It should be self-explanatory, but it's not. And notice how when you're in other people's cars, you can feel cushion in the seats? That's pretty nice, right? No, it's just normal. So bundle your renter's and car insurance with Progressive and put the savings toward a new car. It's time. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states. And now another no-brainer money-saving tip from Progressive.
Marcus, what happened?
I was changing my oil and I spilled some on the floor.
Oh, well, use these $50 bills to wipe it up.
Perfect. Got any more?
Yeah, take a couple hundred.
Stop. Instead of using money, use an old rag. And here's a better tip from Progressive on how not to waste money. Don't pay too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
This year, Dell Technologies wants to help you do amazing things with their best tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 13 Plus, powered by Intel Core processors, and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology to match your forward-thinking spirit and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
Sactown Sports is home to the Kings, Niners, and now the business of sports. Hosted by Kelly Brothers and brought to you by Cap Trust, offering customized, independent financial advice at captrust.com. Join Kelly Brothers, Carmichael, Dave, and Jason as they look at the business of sports every Thursday at 7:40 a.m. You want to know how sports really work? Follow the money with Kelly Brothers from Cap Trust on Sactown.
Afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
We are here above all else to alleviate confusion. We have some confusion on the YouTube chat here over Brendan and Frankie. There's some discussion on the chat over, hey, which one was that again? And people are getting them confused, Jay. And I didn't think they sounded that alike.
No.
Brendan and Frankie?
No, they sound different.
Yeah. Which one should be more insulted by someone saying, oh, I think they sound alike?
Oh, that's a good question. Man, you I see where you're at today, brother. You testy.
Yeah. Frankie says Manny too legit. And then Compio says Nunes is correct. And Manny says, wait, that was Brendan. And Manny says they almost sounded the same. So I don't know. It's just that I think what it is they both give you just high quality Kings information with that same kind of boyish charm and enthusiasm. That's what it is.
That's where you're coming with it.
Yeah.
Huh?
And those guys work hard. You know, Brendan was saying, took a little break. Those guys work hard.
Yeah, they cover the Kings like nobody else, man.
Yeah.
Shouts out to them guys.
Certainly they cover the Kings, unlike Carmichael Dave, who takes an all-star break. Why does he need an all-star break?
Well, Brendan said he took one too.
I know, but Brendan covers the team.
Oh, okay.
Carmichael Davis, like, he's in bed, isn't he? Why does he need an all-star break?
Yeah, well, I guess he just tied to the association that deep that he has to take one. Where's he at? Oh, New York. He's in New York.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I think I saw him a few times post via Twitter or X.
All right.
However you want to call
some
it.
kind of pizza. That would make sense. I was like, what is a pizza? I
think he's in NY.
Yeah, that makes sense. That would make sense. Okay. And we have some solutions for fixing the All-Star game, but you know what? It's fine. There's no fixing it, and we just have to deal with it.
To you, Whitey. To you. There may be a resolution out there.
No, it can't be fixed like the football one. And that's fine. We just need to move on to other things. This is from Dwayne. 4 6-man teams that played a 40 points, top East and West front court and top East and West backcourt vote getters or captains, 2 rounds of games.
That's too much. Yeah.
There you go. That might be a better idea, but it's already too complicated for me.
It is. It's too much for an all-star. This is when you let your mind go at ease and you just go out there and lollygag. And I think that's what they're doing. And a lot of people don't tend to like it. I think there is an opportunity to get hurt. And that's why you don't see a lot of guys putting forth the effort. There's a lot of money on the table, a lot of endorsement money on the table, a lot of contractual money on the table. And you don't see some of the guys putting, the effort is what most people are complaining about.
Yeah. And you could say, well, we'll give you X amount of money if you win the All-Star game. And for most players, these are all-stars. So they're already doing pretty well. And so a guy might say, I can make X amount by winning, but if I get hurt, I'm going to lose on my next deal many more times over that amount.
Right.
So, yeah. And that's just the way it is. It's fine. There's no reason to bellyache about it or, go get on the soapbox like Kendrick Perkins and complain about what a disgrace it is. We just have to deal with the reality of it.
Very true.
Kenny Smith has to deal with this reality. A lot of people were upset by some of the things he said during the Steph Sabrina shootout. And what happened basically is that Kenny said that Sabrina should be shooting from a shorter distance. And a lot of people took that the wrong way. And Kenny Smith on with Stephen A. yesterday says, people misunderstood me.
Yeah, I think it's much ado about nothing, Stephen, honestly. Most people who know basketball understood what I was talking about. Actually, I was advocating for her more than anything else because basketball is muscle memory.
Right.
So he practices from one range, she practices from the other. There's even a study, I think, with somebody throwing darts, the guy who throws darts.
Okay.
And if you move him out one step, his accuracy changes dramatically. But the funny thing about it, if you move him in one step, his accuracy changes because you take so many shots from the exact same thing. So I'm like, why is he getting the advantage to shoot at his line? But the second part, Reggie was joking around about, so she could play with dolls. Because there was a comment, I think, that Sabrina, when she was younger,
right,
that someone said you should play dolls and stop. So I have daughters. So my thought when I first heard that, I was like, what's wrong with that? You should play with dolls and you could do sports. So I actually said it. Yeah, I think it's much ado about nothing.
Yeah. So he was trying to have her back. And then, all he needed to do was when someone said she wants to shoot from the same distance, he should have said, wow, that's really admirable. That should have been the end of it. But I do believe him that he actually was trying in a way to defend her. But it came across as if he was saying, she's a girl. She should be shorter, blah, blah, blah.
I think part of it is their job is to be entertaining, and that's kind of what you've been talking about all day in another form or fashion, that the NBA All-Star and the NBA All-Star weekend festivities are entertaining. And I think this is an opportunity for guys like Kenny Smith, Reggie Miller, Charles Barkley, Draymond, Taylor Rooks, people like that, to kind of show a little more personality than they normally do. Mm-hmm. And that's tough to say when you're talking like Charles Barkley and Kenny Smith and stuff like that. But I think during the weekend, All-Star weekend, you always see these guys get a little more loose, and sometimes you have to be careful how you say it, not what you say. It's basically the form of how you say it. And I think that's kind of what he's saying. And I think that's what he's alluding to. But I mean, hey, that's part of this. It's part of doing this job.
Yeah, but I believe him. I know there was a lot of smart people that were really offended by what he said, which I understand. I don't think he meant it the way it came across. But, if you're in broadcasting, sometimes you find out. It's like, it doesn't matter what you meant. Sometimes if people take it the wrong way, that's basically what you said. Yeah. So hopefully it blows over. But it is unfortunate because I do think he was trying to, in a way, defend her.
Yeah, and let me say this also too, Whitey, and you know this better than I do because you've had the opportunity to be in this business longer than I have. But my 14, 15, whatever years in this, it has changed in that short period of time, if that's considered a short period of time to be at a job. But it has definitely changed of what you can do and what you can say when I first got into the business compared to now.
Yeah,
a whole lot, right?
That.
And
yeah.
so and in many ways for the better, because there were a lot of things that as one of the things working in sports station was, it was a locker room. It was treated as a locker room, and there was some things, some pitfalls and downfalls that needed to be changed. And there comes a point in time in everyone's when you do this as a profession that something you say is going to be taken out of context. It really is. And the fact that he's able to come back the next day or 2 days or whatever and have a conversation and specify what he was saying, I give Stephen A some love on that. I give Kenny for coming on there. And I haven't seen anything from Sabrina personally. I don't know if you have, but
no,
I think she did a great job in her camp and her team in allowing this to play out completely before, she jumped all on it.
Yeah,
and
she didn't have to say anything because she did with the way she shot the ball.
Absolutely.
That said everything.
Absolutely. And so I just say that to say sometimes things are taken out of context. And I'm glad that everybody seemed to kind of have an understanding like, okay, let's get a better understanding of what's going on.
She was great. He was great. And you wanted him to win, and good for you.
Yeah, I did. I'm not pulling any punches. I wanted him to dominate. Absolutely. And you can blame me all you want. It has nothing to do with anything. I just wanted Steph to go out there and showcase his talents. Yeah. I'm a fan of Steph. I really, really enjoy Steph.
Mm-hmm. It's dangerous really around these parts,
It is. But I'm a big boy. I could take it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, hey, how about this? Go win. I mean, it really boils down to that.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't say I'm rooting for it. I'm just saying I like Steph Curry.
Yeah. That was the highlight of the weekend. I don't think it was even close.
No, not even close.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
When we come back, Jay and I are, I don't know if we're at each other's throats, but it may come to that over Brandon Ayuk and his 49er future. Next year, the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
The only place you'll find Kevin Herter is Sactown Sports.
Herter's open, steps into three. He's got the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Kevin Herter, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Honeylicious taste, so a cold won't slow you down.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to start getting conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
Babbel's interactive lessons are created by real language teachers and voiced by real native speakers using a modern conversation-based method. So in no time, you can start speaking confidently about real-life topics in another language.
Nosotras vamos a México en 2 días y ahora hablamos español.
Gracias, Babbel.
Sí, muchas gracias.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Start learning a language today at Babbel.com.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
Dr. Ken Howachek and kinesiologist Kelsey Graham discuss the Good Feet store.
The foot has a lot of detail. It has a lot of complexity. There's a lot that can go wrong. A lot of problems start in the foot and end up elsewhere. Knee pain, hip pain, back pain. When aligning the feet properly, we can see relief elsewhere. And that's the beauty of the Good Feet Arch support. It can place the feet into their ideal position and gives them the balance, the support, the comfort, and the relief of the pain. The bottom line is that the Good Feet Arch support can be a highly effective pain relief solution when nothing else has worked.
The feet have a really big impact on how the rest of the body moves. The knees, the hips, the lower back especially. If the foot isn't properly aligned, all of these joints are going to function incorrectly. That results in a lot of muscle tension and chronic pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that the right arch supports can put the foot in its proper alignment. So all the joints up the rest of the body will be aligned properly as well. And when the body's aligned, we can reduce the risk of injury and chronic pain.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Modesto, Stockton, and Vacaville for a free fitting and test walk. Are you ready for the deal of a lifetime? This week only during the President's Week sale, get ready to rev up your savings at Elk Grove Kia and elkgrovekia.com. The doors swing wide open every day at 9 a.m., and we're unleashing the biggest selection of pre-owned and brand new vehicles you've ever seen. With so many options to choose from, you're sure to find the car of your dreams. But hold on to your seats, because here's the best part. Our prices are slashed to the bone, and they're so incredible that we can't broadcast them. You have to come down and see for yourself. Don't wait. This is a 1 week only event. And to make it even better, you can drive away with your dream car right on the spot. No waiting, no hassle. Just instant delivery right on site. Remember, the President's Week sale happens this week only at Elk Grove Kia and elkgrovekia.com. Doors open at 9 a.m. sharp. Elk Grove Kia, where the biggest savings and the hottest wheels await during the President's Week sale, only at
Elk Grove Kia. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber, down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports. Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Interesting to me the way Jay is trying to frame me as some kind of troublemaker today. Kyle's back with us tomorrow. It's Whitey and Jay. But much earlier in the show, about 2:30, we had a conversation with Mike Testa from Visit Sacramento. We talked to Mike about Sacramento's efforts to bring in the A's, another team. And Jay was the one that asked a question of Mike Testa that really irritated him, because we were talking about, what about the A's? What about MLS and this and that? And Jay says, hey, how come we're not City of Trees anymore?
Right.
Why are we Farm to Fork? Which Jay was so mad about he couldn't even say.
Right.
And so you sent him a text and he replied to you, huh?
Well, no, he was, I would imagine, post that probably next segment as we were having a conversation. He sent me a text.
Oh, okay.
And he was like, Farm to Fork, Jay, you know.
Yeah.
Which at the time I was struggling, and for good reason, and honestly, purposely I was struggling. Like
fork to farm, and some things I can't even say
anything else, right?
Yeah.
Just put it on the plate, man.
Yeah.
At this point, but he, Mike definitely texted me and said, "Get it together with the Farm to Fork," and then he also had a couple other things to say, which were great, made sense. But then he sends me this. And this was
you're a big City of Trees guy.
I'm
you
a
like
huge
that slogan.
City of guy. Yeah, I love it. I like it.
Yeah.
And so during our interview, Micah said there were other cities who had branded themselves City of Trees. And I said, I don't care. What does that mean to me? And so he gave me some more information, which was City of Trees, Burlingame, Woodland, Tustin, Claremont, Chico, etc. And so we got to get Mike on. So, me and Mike can have this conversation. And he said, we'll do something next time about this. So it's not like he's not privy to this. But my thing to Mike is, and food for thought for Mike, hopefully he's listening. I think he had a meeting or something. But Who cares? Burlingame, Tustin, Claremont.
I've never heard Chico described as a city of trees.
No one cares. We should take that title and run with it.
Well, I think we have, or at least had. I remember at one point when I worked here, somebody's saying Sacramento has the most trees per capita of any city in the world, or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That means we're breathing out oxygen. We're letting oxygen flow throughout the city. We're top notch.
It means we are literally the city of trees.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I don't care about Claremont. I don't care about Tustin. I don't care about South Pasadena. It's not even Pasadena. It's South Pasadena. That's like West Sac to Sac, right?
He went after you right away because you said, look, when I drive up, I used to drive up and see City of Trees on the tower. You said, how old are you?
Right. Okay, that's fine.
Said they changed it a while ago, right?
Which they did long time ago. But I'm just saying, as through my adventures through South Sacramento, born and raised in South Sacramento, that once I left off to college, I never moved back. But of course, I still have friends. I still have family. I go get my hair cut. I move and groove through the South, right? That's where I'm from. And so I don't really care that Tustin claimed himself City of Trees. Burlingame and Tustin and Woodland and Chico and South Pasadena.
A lot. Yes. I used to live in Pacifica. I didn't know they called themselves that.
Because you know why? Because Sacramento claimed the fame. We held the title, and the fact that we gave that back, it's like we just threw that back into the general,
it's
stock
like
of
the
names.
A's giving up San Jose as a territory.
Yes, absolutely. Man, we're the City of Trees. I'm bringing it back. Now we got to get Mike back on, and I need to start a petition, Whitey. I understand the farm to fork and all that good stuff, and as Mike eloquently put out via text, and I know I'm saying some of the things that he reached out to me about, but I'm pretty sure he wouldn't mind saying this is Sacramento just received some Michelin stars for the restaurants, a couple of restaurants.
Business, Shay.
Yes.
We're talking business.
Absolutely, man. We talking about I don't want to be known as for a farm to fork. It doesn't have to pop. Doesn't have to sizzle.
I guess it's working.
So
not for you.
Not for me. City of Trees, bringing it back. I'm starting it right now.
There should be room for both.
There is room.
I'm a unifier, and I try to find common ground. There should be room for both.
All right. Thank you. Are you on board with the City of Trees on the comeback,
of course
though?
I am.
The return?
As long as I'm talking and you're pressing the buttons to determine whether I actually make it out on the air or not, yes.
Okay. Outside of here, we walk out to the pavement. Are you farm to fork guy or are you City of Tree guy?
I have to reevaluate it.
Oh, man. Come on. White.
No, I do. I love City of Trees. Like we said, it's like City of Trees. I want to be there.
It's got pop.
Nice.
Sizzle.
Yes.
When you come into Sacramento, if you're coming off 5, I know I'm hijacking this. If you
we're good.
If you come off,
this is important.
Yes, it is. If you're coming in north on the freeway on I-5, Interstate 5, which runs from Canada all the way to Mexico, and you come through Sacramento, and the very first thing you hit is Elk Grove, and then you come through and you get into the meat of the potatoes, right? You hit the Consumnes, and then all of a sudden you look up, you see Pocket Little League to your left, you see Meadowview to your right.
Paint a beautiful picture.
Yes, absolutely. Come on now. You see the McDonald's and the Shell and all those good things, and then you look up and you see Farm to Fork. Farm to Fork. What? Beautiful water tower, just glistening, silver, titanium, aluminum, alloy, platinum or whatever you want to call it.
Right. Looks like a giant spaceship.
Yes. Fantastic. It when you look up, it just heaven in your eyes.
City of Trees is like welcome.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes. We're breathing life into you. The oxygen literally flows through our town. Farm to fork.
Farm to fork.
You know what that means?
It's more of a
rule,
a statement. Like this is what we do.
Yeah, but Whitey, it kind of like it makes
me
think
feed
of
America. That's what it's saying. We feed America.
It makes me think barn. Like the first thing I think about is barn.
I know. And when you're a cow town, maybe you don't necessarily want to be known as a cow town, maybe that's not the way to go.
Yeah.
But I think we're pretty much locked into it at this point.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to talk to Mike. We have to get Mike back on. I'm gonna have to give him a spiel. I'll text him again and I need some of my, my constituents to run with me. City of Trees, not Farm to Fork.
I was going to say, are you getting Allen's Farm to Fork is much more marketable.
Oh, here we go.
From the 707, Chico welcoming sign entering from north says City of Trees.
Yeah, but they're copying. We understand. And no disrespect to Chico. No, I know you guys have the college. No disrespect to that. But y'all not competing with Sacramento. You're not competing.
Ultimate Kingpin also says Chico welcoming sign entering from north on 32 says City of Trees.
Man, nobody cares about that.
Well, we gave it up, Jay.
I know, and that's the thing.
It up willingly.
We threw the Uno card right back into the pile. That's the problem. If we would have ran with it and pushed it like they pushing the Farm to Fork. Again, when I think of Farm to Fork, the first thing that pops in my mind is just barnyard. Old McDonald had a farm. That's the first thing I think about. Old McDonald had a farm when I think Farm to Fork. Yes. Yeah. City of Trees. Beautiful. Have you ever seen a t-shirt that just has the trees? And it's just beautiful. It just makes you.
City of Trees is a better t-shirt than
Farm to Fork.
Yeah. But I think you're fighting a losing battle. I'm with you, but as your friend, I got to tell you, choose your battles wisely, and I'm not sure this is one you want to fight. Because the deck is stacked against you.
I understand, but I'm bringing it back.
All right.
It's Throwback Tuesday, Retro Tuesday. I'm bringing it back like a pair of Air Force Ones, like some pennies or something, like Nike does, because they're living off retros, nothing new. I'm bringing it back.
All right.
I need your support here, and it's the year of the election. Right? 2024 is the year of election.
I think it's too late to get it on the ballot.
No. Write me in. Write me in, baby. Write me in. I'm ready.
Official slogan of Sacramento. Cast your vote.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, maybe we could at least do a poll.
Yes. Look, I'm running on the ballot. All I'm running about is City of Trees. Nothing else. I'm not touching anything else. The Farm to Fork situation, I know they publicize it quite a bit of Golden One, and it's a big deal. I get it, but
it's
as you said, why can't we do both?
I think
why can't we be both?
I think we can. When we come back, Ayuk, maybe on his way to some other place next with the Drive Guys on the City of Trees station, Sactown Sports.
Subscribe to Sactown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sactown Sports.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com. Brought to you by Coors Light, Garner Roofing, and Roseville Kitchen and Bath.
With NBA League Pass, you get so much game.
Even regular season games?
Yep.
Even some of the in-season tournament?
Mm-hmm.
Can I watch home and away team broadcasts?
Oh, yeah.
Can I watch from my phone while I take a long bath?
Sure.
And if my team wins, can I stand up super fast and splash water everywhere and scream, yes, that's right?
Hey, could we get a normal fan for this commercial? Subscribe at NBA.com/League Pass today. Only select out-of-market games available and local blackout restrictions apply. Additional charges and other conditions may apply. Visit NBA.com/subscriber agreement for full terms and conditions.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Yeah, Jay saw the Bob Marley movie. I've been trying to get him to watch a documentary on Marley that's better, but I can't remember what the name of the documentary is. Here's a song you might want to check out, Jay. It's by someone named Mego de Oz. It's called La Ciudad de los Arboles. You know what that means?
No, I do not.
City of Trees.
Just come on now.
Yeah. La Ciudad de los Arboles. This is from Wikipedia. Currently nicknamed cities, City of Trees. Atlanta, Georgia, Boise, Idaho, Buffalo, New York, Burlingame, California, Chico, California, Claremont, California, Fairway, Kansas, Pleasant Grove, Utah, Royal Oak, Michigan, South Pasadena, Sendai, Japan, Tustin, California, Woodland, and Sylvania, Ohio. What hurts even more is on Wikipedia, formerly nicknamed cities, Highland Park, Michigan, and Sacramento, California.
See what I'm saying? Like, You named all those cities.
Nicknamed cities.
And Atlanta, no one's calling that the city of trees. So beyond that, there's no competition.
Mm-hmm. But we've officially given it up. Even Wiki says, used to be the city of trees. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. And Vac Morales is right here. City of trees is not the kind of marketable they want. LOL. Yeah, it's just farm to fork. Talks about the fact that we feed America and that it's good for business. And City of Trees is just kind of that's nice. That's all. It is
Sounds
nice.
good.
Yeah, it is nice. By the way, how was the movie? Did I misspeak, or was it not all that you hoped it would be?
The Bob Marley?
Yes.
It was okay, man. I thought going into it, I expected a little more, but I will say this. I think my perception of it was, and I could be wrong, because I went into the movie not wanting to read a synopsis of it, what was going to happen. I wanted a little more on how he grew up, more basis, the foundation of who he became and how he became that. And there was, in typical movie fashion, there were a few things where he would flash back, to when he was a child. And, they spoke about his mom moving to Delaware and a few other different things that if you're a Marley fan, you should probably know. But I was looking for a little more in-depth situation. And I get it. This is not a docu, right? And so I didn't go into it that way, but I also think it was just more of a period piece. And I won't say any more than that if you haven't seen it. It really focused on a certain 5 years or so in his life.
All right.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is important. But I thought they could have did a little more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, to me, and I don't know what the reviews are, and I haven't seen it, but if you do a movie about Bob Marley and it's just like, okay, that's a massive fail.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Let's talk to Cameron here. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. What's up, Cam?
Hey, what's up, fellas? So let me address the elephant in the room real quick. City of Trees, that's what Old Sac smells like on Saturday night. Let's not overthink it. Farm to Fork was designed to generate business for local restaurants.
Uh-huh.
So that's a battle you don't want to touch. They playing with fire, even messing with those people, man. You don't want to mess with the right local businesses.
Gotcha,
City
Cam.
of Trees, I ain't mad at it, but yeah, marketability is a little tough nowadays.
Thank you, Cam. See? Yeah.
You got it.
Cam's also your friend. We're trying to tell you, this is a battle you do not want to fight.
Yeah, I understand that. Listen, let me put it this way. I understand, and this is what Mike was saying as well, is, think bigger in the form of business. Understandable. Right. I got that. Right. No problem. Cool. We got the Michelin stars. I mean, the voting. We've got one of the top. I think someone in there, I don't remember who put into the YouTube conversation, we're voted one of the best foodie places, when it comes to California. Yeah, good. I'm chubby for a reason. I like to eat. You're not telling me anything I don't know. I got that part of it. But I don't want to be branded farm to fork. That just got no pop, no sizzle, no It's not dope. It doesn't do anything for me.
So our next pro sports team, what if they're the Sacramento Farmers? You wouldn't like
that? Nah, put that away. See, and that does the farm to fork not sound that way? Like if you,
but it's what the area is.
Yeah, but we're also the city of trees.
Yeah.
You just said we have.
So is Burlingame.
No,
so
it's
is
not.
Atlanta, Georgia.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No one says ATL.
I've never heard that.
Right. So why not claim it? It's like we threw it back in not to claim it because we'd rather be farm to fork, and because Burlingame, California has called themselves, because Tustin, California has. Does anybody even know where Tustin is at?
I was just going to say it. I mean no disrespect to the Tustinians, but I have no idea.
Right. And that's my whole point of it is I know where Tustin is at because
Where is it? Central Valley?
No, I'm not. Seriously?
I have no idea.
Are you serious?
I would just Tustin. That
take
sounds
a wild
like
guess.
It's
just take a wild guess.
Somewhere near, it's like 8 miles north of Bakersfield. It's near Lemoore. I don't know.
Wait, how do you know where Lemoore is but don't know where Tustin is at?
Because my buddy Lo Neal's from Lemoore.
Yeah.
Oh,
I had to check it real fast. I'll tell you. Mike has texted me back. We got to get Mike on.
Actually, Lemore's near Fresno.
We have to get a little closer than that, but we have to get Mike on. But he's basically giving me the reason of why we're Farm to Fork and why we should be Farm to Fork, and I understand that, no problem. I just trying to read it to make sure.
You gotta be careful. You're going to be walking out of here. Someone's going to throw a bag over your head. You'll be in a van. They'll drive you to some restaurant, and 3 guys are going to explain, look, you understand why we're this? Look, just don't make us do this again. And they're going to bring you back and then drop you off. You're not going to know what happened.
I get it. But Mike is making some great points, and I'll wait for Mike to come back on his airways to make these points. But he's saying we don't want to be South Pasadena. And my conversation to that is, South Pasadena, no one has South Pasadena in their mouth. Like if I'm just like Tustin, by the way, Tustin is by Santa Ana and towards that way.
Really?
Yeah, it's outside
like Orange
of that
County.
way. Exactly.
Wow,
yeah,
I didn't know that.
And
are
so
they Tustinians or Tustinans?
We have to get someone on. Yeah,
okay. All right.
I don't have no idea, but no one knows South Pasadena is its own city.
No,
it's Pasadena, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No
they
disrespect.
Don't have a team. They don't have their own team.
Burlingame, okay. Most people probably, if you left California, said I'm from Burlingame, most people would be like, where?
You say south of San Francisco.
Absolutely. If I walked out and said, you know what, I am from Chico, most people would be like, college here. Right. Yeah. I'm from Woodland. Yeah. Again, no disrespect. Because they're our cousins. They're down the way.
If the name of your city is Woodland, you don't need to call yourself the City of Trees. It's already Woodland.
Exactly.
We can figure that out.
I'm running on the ballots here. I don't know where, how, and how I'm going to push this further, but I'm all back for the return of City of Trees. I'm all in. Today has showed me I'm all in.
I would defend you, but I'm scared of the people. The
Farm to Fork congregation.
Powerful people.
It's the restaurants.
Talk to Ken here.
It's the restaurant.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Hello, Ken. What's up?
Hey, what it do, gentlemen? How you guys doing today?
Good. Can you help Jay out?
Hey, I got a quick, suggestion. I don't know what you guys think. The All-Star game with baseball. Whoever wins the game, it isn't that. Don't they get the home court advantage? Home field advantage?
Yeah.
No longer.
Well, yeah.
So why don't they have the NBA basketball game like that, the All-Star game like that, so to force these cats to play?
It's a good question,
so whatever
Ken.
team wins gets home court advantage. I guarantee that'll make them play.
Thank you for the suggestion. I read that somewhere over the weekend as well. I, by the way, was the only person in the world, I think, who liked it when they did that in the All-Star game in baseball. Nobody liked it. I thought it was a halfway decent idea. Would it actually work in this case? It's a good question because the guys playing in the All-Star game, as you know, Ken, or you wouldn't have suggested it, they're the guys who are most likely to be in the finals. It's worth a try. I don't think it would work because I think bottom line is the guys are like, yeah, I'm not going to expend myself here. I don't want to get hurt and it's not worth it, but it's worth a try. It's something they could throw out next year. The only problem is that people hated it when that was part of the baseball All-Star game. They hated it so much that they finally had to say, all right, we're not doing that anymore. And they did it for the same reason. They were trying to get players to care about the All-Star game. It didn't work in baseball. It kind of backfired, but maybe the NBA is like running out of options and they got to give it a try, Jay.
Yeah, I would say 99.9% of people probably going to be against that. And I think that's kind of what you're saying.
Oh, yeah.
No one liked the baseball idea. And of course, baseball would be the one who puts their neck out on the line and it just turned all bad for them. Yeah, that's another reason why you can kind of put a nail in baseball's aspirations of, gaining some steam again.
Baseball did that because if you remember, there was a Major League All-Star game.
A tie, right?
Where because apparently what I heard is there was one guy that could have pitched for the American League, but he was incapacitated by indulging in some
Gatorade.
Yeah. And that's why they couldn't finish the All-Star game. So, yeah. Rudy joining us here. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Hello, Rudy.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
The good question to ask Mike when you have him back on, ask him who authorized that? Who made that decision to change the name?
All right.
Because that's never been made public. It's just all of a sudden we were City of Trees and nobody, where'd that come from?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Rudy. Are you for the City of Trees or Farm to Fork?
Oh, absolutely. I'll help you write the petition.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about, Rudy. I like your style,
Yeah,
sir.
no, absolutely. No, but seriously, it was like, there was no public input or no public discussion before that decision was made. So I would definitely ask him who made that decision and who authorized it. Seriously.
Thank you, Rudy. Jay, you're causing problems. You and Rudy are shaking things up here.
I'm just saying.
Cages.
Look, let's get it together, Sacramento. We're looking for maybe the Oakland A's. We're looking for maybe another pro team. Let's put our name back in the hat for City of Trees.
Mike Test is listening, going, all right, this has gone too far now. I can't believe that they're asking, where did this come from? Who made this decision? It's fine, right? It's just a slogan. They're both wonderful slogans. There probably is room for both here. Anyway, thank you for being with us here. Thanks for all the participation. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. We got to get to Brandon Ayuk at some point and his 49er future. The fact that he could end up going somewhere else. But now we've got this newer topic of why are we a farm to fork capital and not the City of Trees anymore? And I have to say, Jay has touched a nerve here. We're getting a lot of reaction on that. Backing up to the previous call about the NBA All-Star game and how maybe we should have who wins the All-Star game determine home court for the finals. Bottom line is it was so unpopular in baseball. I think just if the NBA were to come out and say we're considering it, I think they'd be shot down so bad I wouldn't be worth the bad PR. Even if it would help the problem, which I doubt, but I don't think they can even afford to address the issue. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. We'll get back to the calls. We'll get back to Brandon Ayuk. Jay, let's take a quick time out here. It's a Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
And Logan Ryan picks him up. Looks like they're playing man. LaPorta's over there as well. It's 5 out. It's empty on 4th down. Goff back. Not going to get out to his right, being chased, throws, and it is incomplete. The 49ers take over on 4th down again.
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Skies will stay cloudy with a chance of showers and thunderstorms through the early evening. Later on tonight, that activity will diminish. Tomorrow we'll have a mixture of sun and clouds with just a chance of a shower and highs in the low 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA 3 app.
Imagine taking a nice warm bath in your shower. Let's fix that. Right now, get that clogged drain unclogged for just $67. Plumbing, sewer, electric, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
Elevate your drive with Acura of Stockton's President's Day savings. Unleash luxury and precision in a new Acura Integra, RDX, MDX, or TLX. Quality meets affordability with savings on our best selection. Get to AcuraofStockton.com and start your experience today. Own the road in style. Visit us today or go to AcuraofStockton.com. Elevate your drive with Acura of Stockton, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips.
All right, Uncle Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and me the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Jiffy Lube, your place for oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. Hey, for valuable coupons and a location near you, visit jiffylube.com.
Discover your dream home at Subcontractors United, your source for all home improvement needs. A talented team of home services experts is ready to make your projects a breeze. No more endless internet searches. Find your contractors in one place. Enjoy stress-free service absolutely free, with no hidden costs and no accounts to set up. Transform your living space into something extraordinary. Visit Subcontractors United today and experience the joy of hassle-free home improvement. Dream big at subcontractorsunited.com.
It was 1879 when the first President's Day was established, and it's been a holiday ever since. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. I'm guessing when the Keys family opened the first Naturewood Home Furnishing store in 1948, a President's Day sale was not top of the mind. But the family probably celebrated the holiday with a picnic and a big slice of cherry pie. The store name Naturewood was selected to reflect the quality of the wood furniture for sale. And that focus on quality continues today with brands like FlexSteel, Trailway, Stickley, Fusion Designs, Stanton, and many, many more. The Naturewood Home Furnishings President's Day sale is the perfect time for you to find the right accent piece for your living room, a new bed for your bedroom, or to completely refurnish your entire home. See all the fine furniture and accessories on sale with Naturewood's President's Day sale. Find that perfect piece of furniture that's new today and filled with memories for tomorrow. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Are you stressing about your IRS tax problems? Have you received notices from the IRS threatening to garnish your wages, levy your bank accounts, or seize your property? You need an ally. Allies Tax Relief has tax attorneys and enrolled agents that are ready to fight for you. They have saved millions for taxpayers just like you. Allies Tax Relief can help put a stop to IRS collections and, most importantly, negotiate your tax debt. Here's Brenda, a happy client of Allies Tax Relief.
I owed the IRS around $57,000, and they're about to start garnishing my paychecks. I heard a commercial on the radio about Allies Tax Relief, so I thought I'd give them a call. After a day, they were able to at least stop the garnishments, and after a few months of negotiations, I walked away owing the IRS only $301.
If you owe the IRS, call Allies Tax Relief right now for your free consultation. Call 800-805-1723. 800-805-1723. That's 800-805-1723.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
It's now an official Sactown Sports poll. Do you prefer City of Trees or Farm to Fork Capital? Haven't gotten a ton of votes yet, but it's up there. I'm afraid to even check, Jay. I'm afraid to check how you're doing.
Because you know how this goes. And honestly, Mike knows how this goes. Mike Testa, of course, friend of the show, CEO of Visit Sacramento. Mike knows it too, man. And listen, I'm not a politician. I don't claim to be one. I'm not in the crux of Sacramento like Mike is. And, Mike is very well versed in what Sacramento is doing, how we're moving, where we're going, where we've come from. But I will say this. I know this much. There's a lot of people out here who still consider us the City of Trees and not the Farm to Fork Capital.
Well, I just voted for you. That's
Thank you.
All I can do at this
I appreciate you, brother.
Let's
Thank you
see.
so much.
Somebody is JJ Compio. JJ for mayor of Sacramento City of Trees.
City of Trees.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I saw Campio put in YouTube. He's from the same area I'm in.
That's right.
And let me say this. Shouts out to my fellow Willow Rancho. He played a Little League, Willow Rancho Little League, which is now defunct. That's where I grew up off of 24th Street, Played there up until my senior year. And then they went defunct, and I had to play 1 year at Airport Little League, which is still holding on. But yeah, this Willow Rancho on mine.
It's no fun when your school you went to or your Little League is defunct.
Yeah.
Like my high school in Vallejo is not even a high school anymore. It's
really?
Like middle school.
Okay.
Hogan High.
Oh, yeah.
And when I played there, the team that I was on, and I didn't have that much to do with it, but we were the first team in school history to win our league in basketball.
Wow.
And I remember the coach saying, and Coach Stevenson's no longer with us, but I remember him saying, you can bring your family, you can come here in the future and you can bring your families and you can look in the trophy case and you can show them that trophy. And you guys, you were the first team to win a league title for this school, and you can show your family that trophy. Years later, my daughter is playing, she was playing AAU.
Okay.
And she had to play a tournament in that gym, which was a brand new gym when I was there. And I'm like, all right, girls, let me show you what your dad did.
That's right.
And then the trophy case, there's like broken glass and there's like hardly anything in there.
Wow.
And the trophy wasn't in there. And so my girls are going, what did you do? Are you sure you actually won something?
Man.
What? It wasn't in there.
That's cold right there. That hurts. that will hurt. I agree with you on that, man.
Yeah. But that's the way it is. That's life. Few weeks you start talking again. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Bill with us on Sactown Sports. Hello, Bill. What's up?
Hey, how's it going? You know what hurts, right? Is having the name Farm to Fork. Now that hurts. We need a city of trees.
Was this an issue for you before today, Bill, or did Jay kind of awaken something within you where you realize, hey, I liked it more the way it was?
I've always liked the city of trees.
See?
I'm not a farm to forts person.
Yeah.
Honestly.
All right. Thank you.
But yeah.
Thank you, Bill. Thanks for hanging on. Marcus joining us on Sactown Sports. What's up, Marcus? What can we do for you?
Hey, what's going on, gentlemen? How we doing?
Good. You want to talk All-Star game?
I do. As I was saying to the other gentleman, maybe it's just the fact that as consumers, we might be expecting too much from a exhibition. I'm not sure if you guys are boxing heads, but if you look at a boxing
Love boxing.
You're right. They don't go in there on an exposition match and try to take each other's head off. They're just giving the fans what they want to see, like a little show of their demonstrations.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with the now All-Star game, be it basketball, be it baseball. These guys have so much on the line during the second half of the season. What do they really have that's going to make them want to, lay it all out there and risk getting injured and risk not being in the playoffs or competing for a title just to say they won an All-Star game?
Marcus, I think you're 100% right. Thanks for the call. I agree with you. I think that's the nature of it. You can try to come up with crazy ways where you can give the players more motivation, which is, it starts and ends with money. And then I think you really can't offer them enough money to make them want to play hard. So I just think it's a dead end. And it's fine. It's understandable. Like you said, boxers aren't going to do it. You can't blame these players, in my opinion, for not playing harder. I know there's a lot of people that feel like, well, they used to in the old days, which is true, and they owe it to us. And I just don't think they do. I just think that's where we are pretty much with all All-Star games. Jay, baseball lends itself to an All-Star format a little more than football and basketball. So the All-Star game, but even then, it's not like guys are – you remember Justin Verlander a few years ago, 2014, whatever it was, grooving pitches to the Giants. And who was it? Chan-Ho Park grooving a fastball to Cal Ripken so he could hit a home run in the All-Star game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think baseball, as you said, it kind of looms itself to the closest to normalcy.
Right.
Yeah.
But you throw me the ball, I'm going to swing it and hit
right.
it. And if I hit it to you, you're going to try to catch it.
Yeah. I think and I understand what Marcus is saying, and something that touched me right there when you were talking about compared to, years ago, these players weren't making $100 million years ago. They weren't making $150 million and then have $200 million shoe deals. And then on top of that, it's got $10 million soda deal, and then another 5 on a vehicle deal. Like, these guys are worth a lot of money on paper. And, quite frankly, I just don't think a lot of these guys want to go get hurt, man. They just really don't want to get hurt.
Who can blame them for that?
No one.
Yeah.
No one can.
Like I said earlier, if you follow this, if you remember about 2012, the Pro Bowl had reached a point where Commissioner Goodell was furious because you watched them, like the linemen were they were barely leaning on each other. And there was talk about this might be the end of the Pro Bowl. And eventually it was.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? I think we've survived that, haven't we? And the Pro Bowl still gets better ratings than the NBA All-Star game.
That's amazing. Well, just and that's another conversation to be had. Football is king. And I've always said on this airwaves that football is king because of fantasy and gambling. But, I know there are lines when it comes to the Pro Bowl. I don't know. I haven't, been tuned in since it's become a flag football situation. So I don't know if there are lines for Pro Bowl anymore. But I truly think if more people approached it kind of what your point of view, I think it'd be received a little better than what it is. I think, as you said, you figured it out, Whitey, because you're intelligent, that look, the NBA is going to portray this as, a game between the top world stars, and, but you've also come to fruition of saying, look, they're not going to play like the top stars, though.
They don't guard anybody.
Yeah.
Basketball, you have to play defense or you're not playing basketball.
Truth.
And, they went away from the East versus West because they're not playing hard. So it'll be more fun.
Mix it up.
And then that didn't work. So now we're going back to East versus West. Well, of course it didn't work. But the All-Star game, according to sportsmediawatch.com, ratings were up 20% from last year. They had 5.5 million viewers. So the NBA could say, well, we need this now, but if they're looking at that going, hey, that's great. The Pro Bowl games, which is flag football now combined with some skills competitions, had 5.79 million viewers 2 weeks before the All-Star game. So that did even a little better. Baseball, by the way, the most watched All-Star game had 7.01 million viewers last summer, which compared to the other two is great, but that's a far cry from what it used to draw. That said, here we are. Those are decent numbers. People are still drawn to this. They still want to watch it. I'm just saying I'm not going to be stupid enough to expect an actual competition. You're not going to get it.
Yeah, you're not. And again, I'll repeat. I think if we have more people like yourself come to fruition and the understanding, you're really looking at it for an entertainment purpose and not for a competition. And Marcus kind of spoke to our last callers, like, look at it as an exhibition. And that was a great point of him using, boxing exhibitions compared to a real fight. And I think that's just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I truly do.
Yeah, we're going to save
exhibition.
the Ayuk conversone for the top of the hour, because I have a feeling you and I are going to get into it a little bit over that, because you don't really like Brandon Ayuk that much as a player.
Don't do me like that now.
As a player, you don't think he's that good.
I didn't say that either, Whitey.
Right, okay.
Man, I see the NBA All-Star has you a little surly today. Like, there's an underlining situation with Whitey Gleason today about
didn't you say
what's
Friday
going on?
You wanted to trade Ayuk?
No, I did not say. I didn't say trade him. I didn't. Don't put words in my mouth. You got words on my taste buds right now, Whitey. I said if it came down to the point of they had to let him walk, because we had a Milford Goso, our 49ers insider, on the show. He talked about.
You said I will drive him to the airport.
No, I did not. Didn't say I don't even have a car. Matter of fact, now I don't even have a car. I didn't say that. I just said if it comes to paying him $20+ million, he hasn't performed like a $20 million wide receiver.
Here we
go. Like,
yeah.
if you're asking me Justin Jefferson and Brandon Ayuk, who you taking?
Well, who am I? I'm the 49ers?
Yes. Yeah. But you're getting ready to pay Brandon Ayuk $20 million, allegedly.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Okay.
We're also going to play a new game called Sign, Sit, or See Ya. And we're both going to be the GM of the 49ers. And then we'll look at the free agents. There's like about 9 of them. Sign, Sit, or See Ya is, we name a player. It's like you sign them. It's like, sit. We'll talk about this. Or see ya.
I like it.
So we've got that coming up. But up next, LeBron says he wants to end his career as a Laker. Is that what actually is best for his legacy? I don't think it is. Next year, Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Skies will stay cloudy with a chance of showers and thunderstorms through the early evening. Later on tonight, that activity will diminish. Tomorrow we'll have a mixture of sun and clouds with just a chance of a shower and highs in the low 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA 3 app.
When it's chilly cold at night, don't just add another blanket. Add a new furnace system instead. Now for as low as $5,999 with 0% interest and no payments for 18 months. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler.
My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
Welcome to a brand new year filled with limitless possibilities at Kia of Vacaville. Prepare yourself for an extraordinary driving adventure as we present our impressive 2024 vehicle lineup. Step into the future with state-of-the-art technology, groundbreaking features, and the sleek design that has become synonymous with Kia. Immerse yourself in the dynamic performance of the all-new Kia Sportage, where captivating design meets exhilarating power. Experience the fuel efficiency of the Kia Niro, a hybrid marvel that extends your journey with every mile. Indulge in the sophistication of the Kia Telluride, seamlessly blending luxury and versatility. Don't overlook our eco-friendly Kia hybrid options, ideal for those who prioritize efficiency without sacrificing style. If you're in search of the EV9, Kia of Vacaville has it in stock or available for delivery. Visit Kia of Vacaville today and cruise into 2024 with confidence and style. Kia of Vacaville, where innovation meets the road. Elevate your drive. Elevate your year. Model availability and features may vary. Please see the dealership for details.
Dr. Ken Howachek and kinesiologist Kelsey Graham discuss the Good Feet store.
The foot has a lot of detail. It has a lot of complexity. There's a lot that can go wrong. A lot of problems start in the foot and end up elsewhere. Knee pain, hip pain, back pain. When aligning the feet properly, we can see relief elsewhere. And that's the beauty of the Good Feet Arch support. It can place the feet into their ideal position and gives them the balance, the support, the comfort, and the relief of the pain. The bottom line is that the Good Feet Arch support can be a highly effective pain relief solution when nothing else has worked.
The feet have a really big impact on how the rest of the body moves. The knees, the hips, the lower back especially. If the foot isn't properly aligned, all of these joints are going to function incorrectly. That results in a lot of muscle tension and chronic pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that the right arch supports can put the foot in its proper alignment. So all the joints up the rest of the body will be aligned properly as well. And when the body's aligned, we can reduce the risk of injury and chronic pain.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Modesto, Stockton, and Vacaville for a free fitting and test walk.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Kyle Draper is back tomorrow unless he hears what's been going on and decides, I don't want to get in the middle of that, because Jay Johnson is rattling some cages today. So it's Jay and Whitey today. Earlier we talked to Mike Testa from Visit Sacramento about, primarily we were talking about the possibility of the A's coming here and about how Sacramento's trying to raise its pro sports profile. And when he was on his way out, Jay asked him what seemed at the time like a harmless little question, which was, hey, how come we're not the city of trees anymore? Why are we farm to fork capital of the world? Mike, it seemed like that question irritated him a little bit. He explained, he had a very good explanation, but Jay wouldn't give up. And Jay has started a movement to return to Sacramento to bring back the slogan, City of Trees.
Yes, sir.
You're actually getting not a little bit of support, a great deal of support.
Yes.
A lot of support.
I'm getting folks on Twitter. Shouts out to the Twitter. We see folks on YouTube. And look, let me say this, because I'm a firm.
You heard from Mike again?
I'm not a politician.
Yeah. Have you heard from Mike again?
I have to check. Let me check real quick. And but there's some people who love the farm to fork. We had one of the callers who came. Well, I won't say love because that's a strong word. But there's some people who support farm to fork.
Okay.
We had one caller. I think it was Billy. He came on and was like, "Hey, listen, it's a tough hill to climb. Sacramento's known as a foodie type city, and corporate business. They like it. They love it. As I've said here on air. Golden One pushes that quite a bit. We understand in this region that's big. I understand that. My whole thing is we were the city of trees before.
By the way, do you
why
know
are we
how
forgetting our
long
history?
The first known reference to Sacramento as the city of trees dates back to, what would you guess?
70s.
1855.
Come on, baby. We was a city of trees before farm to fork was ever thought about.
The fork had only barely been invented then. Yeah, the city of trees, 1855. By the early 1900s, the saying had clearly taken hold.
100
Land
plus
park,
years.
33% coverage. That area has the most trees in the city. As a capital city with the most trees in America, Sacramento claimed to have more trees per capita than any other city in the world. Sacramento currently has approximately 1 million trees within its city limits. On and on and on.
Yeah. So what you're telling me is we're no more for trees than the egg.
I don't know. I don't have any information on that.
Okay.
We certainly have a lot of trees. I can tell you that.
It really started, and this. Let me say this. Let me make sure I quantify the conversation.
How about that, Mike Testa?
I know we got to get Mike on. I might have to reach out to Mike again. It started with the fact of where I grew up, driving by the water tower in South Sacramento, and I remember at that time, as Mike told me, "Look, I'm not 15." Let me make sure I properly put it out there. When I was living in Los Angeles, by the time I came back, I would come back every weekend, every other weekend. I would see City of Trees on the water tower and made me proud.
Yeah.
Loved it. Looks beautiful. You coming in off I-5, fantastic. Come in one day and I'm like, farm to fork. Now, of course, I do my research. I love my city, born and raised. Again, I understand why we're the farm to fork. It doesn't even sound right. Farm to fork capital.
You've improved
so to say.
dramatically, though.
I know. Farm to fork, whatever. We're not the capital, but we are the capital, but not the farm to fork capital. But the reason why, I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea, Whitey. You know why? Because it's no sizzle to that. It's no pop. I understand all the restaurants want to utilize that. I understand Golden One and the ownership out there wants to utilize that. I understand my boy Mike Testa. I understand the reason why. And
you're making some very powerful people unhappy. No, I'm afraid to go to my car after the show.
This is what I'm saying. Why can't we be both?
Yeah, it's a good question.
That's my conversation. I'm not saying move farm to fork to the side because I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of that. But I'm just saying,
give people a choice.
Yes, or not even that though. It's we can be both. We don't have to pick. We don't have to choose. Why couldn't we put farm to fork up there and then at the bottom, maybe on the legs of the water tower, going vertically, City of Trees? Why can't we build?
Reasonable to me.
Why can't we build a statue of a tree somewhere and put City of Trees out there? That's all I'm saying. Is
or plant a tree.
Yes. Why did we throw that? We were known as that.
Yeah.
And some of the cities that you named off, like no one knows these
Atlanta,
cities.
Georgia, the City of Trees.
Yeah. Who knows Atlanta for the City of Trees?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just be careful. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean,
that's all I'm saying.
And what? Because I'm asking for my city to represent who we are?
Because you're messing with some powerful forces.
Of
that's
what?
All. The farm to fork movement is very strong.
I get it. But this is the thing.
I voted for you in our poll. I don't know what more you want.
It's not we don't need to drop farm of the fork. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying we need to.
See, he mispronounces it. That's kind of his subtle way of saying that it's a bad slogan.
It's not on. It doesn't have the sizzle and the pop that I'm looking for when it comes to City of Trees. I'm just saying, would you rather have a t-shirt that says farm to fork, or would you rather have a t-shirt that says City of Trees?
You know the answer. We all know the answer.
Okay.
Yeah. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Ken has been hanging on to talk NBA. Hey, Ken, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, guys? In regards to the City of Trees, just say dogs love us. At any rate,
tradition, Ken. It's tradition.
Yes, definitely. And I'm proud. I'm a proud Sacramento. Anyway, I was calling because they've got to do something about the NBA All-Star Game. They've turned the NBA All-Star Game into the NFL Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
And I've got a couple of suggestions that will make it better. Okay?
All right.
I think instead of going Eastern Conference, Western Conference, they should do eras. They should say, guys, 34 and above, you're on the team. Guys, 21 to 25, you're on the team. And guys in the middle, you're on the team. Let errors play against each other. You would have old guys that wouldn't want young guys to beat their butts, so they would come out with effort. You would have young guys trying to prove that they can play the game. They would come out with effort. I do not want to see these guys give less effort than they would give at an afternoon practice. If you went and saw the Summer League at Rucker or the Drew League in Los Angeles or the league in Atlanta in the summertime, you get more effort than what you get with these guys. And when it comes to the NBA dunk contest, you should have a nationwide dunk contest. Because I know if your best dunker is the G League guys, there are plenty of guys that couldn't go to college because of grades, maybe because of a drug problem, maybe because of a criminal problem. But these guys are out there who can jump out the gym. Scour the nation, find 10 of these guys, put up a prize of $500,000 or $1 million. You will find the best dunkers and jumpers in America. And to me, that would put interest back in what's going on, because the dunk contest is long gone. The only thing for the NBA weekend that's enjoyable is the 3-point shootout. If you want to keep us fans, because guys, I didn't even look at 1 second of the All-Star game.
I didn't either.
Not 1 second.
No.
I grew up in an era where the All-Star game was something where these guys looked forward to it, and he took pride in representing the conference. If you're not going to do that, old school guys like me are not going to watch the game. You may have the young people to do it, but that's not basketball. It's a waste of time.
Thank you, Ken. And I said earlier, the All-Star game and the weekend's kind of beyond help. It is what it is at this point. But those are really good ideas, especially the dunk thing. Just think, Jay, if you started this like in the beginning of the year and you had a build up, and it would be like American Idol, but for dunkers, and forget about any NBA players being in it. The best players don't want to be in it. Okay. So rather than fret about that, just deal with it. And if you could have dunkers across the country vying to be like the last 5 that are, competing at the All-Star game, that might just work.
I like that. A little American Idol action. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I like where Ken's going there.
Great idea,
Start
Ken.
with a 64, group of 64, and you build your way down to 5, and All-Star weekend, it culminates. I like that.
Yeah. Now, that would be real drama, because that would be life-changing for one of those guys.
Yes.
That would actually matter.
Yeah, and then maybe, look, here I go building on it. Maybe then you throw in an NBA player or two, down the road, or some sorts of, they get to go against them, or, something. Because Max McClung, this is his Super Bowl of his season.
Yeah.
This is when he gets glorified of what he does. And, he's been on record of saying, like, look, I can play basketball, give me a shot, but this is what we know him for. And so if you have guys like this, or, maybe G Leaguers or something like that, who want to compete in it against these guys and kind of get an automatic pass for the weekend, I think that would tie into it as well.
How about this? This is how they do it, I think, on The Voice. Give me a name, made up name. Doesn't matter what the name is, any name.
Jiminy Cricket.
Just say Jimmy Cricket is like LeBron is his coach.
Okay.
And then so LeBron's working with Jimmy, and that would be part of the build up to the whole thing. You see LeBron working with Jimmy and
coaching him.
Here's what I love about Jimmy. And Jimmy goes, I love LeBron. I can't believe LeBron's my coach. And man, by the time we got to the finals, everybody would be watching
tied
that.
in. That's Team LeBron over there. Oh, yeah.
Great idea, Ken.
It is.
Yeah.
Look like, okay, wait a minute. Look like we got Whitey coming out of his NBA shell today. Whitey's been surly about his basketball.
Yeah. Brandon Ayuk and his future with the 49ers next. And if you got any more ideas like that, please bring them. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Drive, guys. Sactown Sports.
Harrison Barnes plays here.
Harrison Barnes drives it, hammers it. The Black Falcon soaring into the night sky on a Monday evening in Northern California.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
For John's 60th birthday, his family planned to drive down Old Route 66. But the trip took a detour when his wife got sick with RSV. It's a highly contagious virus that can lead to breathing problems and hospitalizations.
This year, we don't want to cancel our plans. We're protecting ourselves with Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo. respiratory syncytial virus vaccine.
Abrysvo, a vaccine to prevent lower respiratory disease from RSV in people 60 years and older. It's not for everyone and may not protect all who receive it. Don't get Abrysvo if you've had an allergic reaction to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may decrease your response. Most common side effects are tiredness, headache, injection site pain, and muscle pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-844-989-7284 or visit abrysvo.com.
So don't wait. Ask your pharmacist or doctor about Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo, because every breath matters.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters, right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with zero down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at folsomlakeford.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
Zero down with approved credit.
Sactown Sports is home to the Kings, Niners, and now the business of sports. Hosted by Kelly Brothers and brought to you by Cap Trust, offering customized, independent financial advice at captrust.com. Join Kelly Brothers, Carmichael, Dave, and Jason as they look at the business of sports every Thursday at 7:40 a.m. You want to know how sports really work? Follow the money with Kelly Brothers from Cap Trust on Sactown Sports.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to start getting conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave asking you, are you feeling the pain of paying more and more for your gas? PG&E has increased their rates 4 times in the last 5 years, and the new forecast says PG&E customers may see their bills increase 32% by 2026. The good thing is there are steps you can take to protect yourself from these rate hikes, and better yet, American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler? They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
I shot the sheriff, but I didn't shoot no deputy. Oh no, oh.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Woo! Hope you had a great holiday weekend. Jay saw the Marley movie. I suggested he also see Marley, the 2012 documentary. I think he's going to take me up on that. Jay has been just schooling us today, and Jay has been setting quite an example for everyone. Because earlier today we talked to a member of the Chamber of Commerce, or actually the Visit Sacramento. Yeah. Mike Testa, and he talked about the Farm to Fork slogan. Jay said, why isn't it City of Trees anymore? And Mike explained, I think rather sharply, but perhaps it was warranted. Jay, however, has not given up.
No, I'm going all the way through.
He started a movement.
I am. And you know, one of the things I text Mike was, why can't we do both? And I think he agrees with that. And so we'll get him on again soon. And
you can't do both, right? I know.
Yeah, you can.
No, you gotta. What's the city slogan? You can't have like two city slogans, just like you can't have two state birds or two. You gotta have one or the other.
Okay, Whitey, you got to put a fence in the middle of the yard, man.
I have to now.
We can be both.
What you should do is
we can be an official and an unofficial. How about that?
There's also this, no matter what the water tower says, you can call it the City of Trees.
Well, which I do. I don't call it the Farm to Fork. When people ask me Sacramento, I'm like City of Trees. I don't say Farm to Fork. And no ring to it. But I think it's one of the things that has, really, really bugged me for years is how we just gave it up. We just threw it back into the pool. Like, yeah, go ahead.
That is interesting. Having looked it up on Wiki, it says cities formerly known as a City of Trees, Sacramento.
I know.
So it's
who took the time to put that out there?
Officially abandoned.
But Burlingame and
Chico
and Woodland and Tustin and South Pasadena, who no one even knows is a city. These places are claiming to be City of Trees. None of these have the ilk of Sacramento. None of these places are the capital. None of these places can provide the justice of what the City of Trees, slogan that we could do here in Sacramento. So why throw it back to the pool?
We've been talking, of course, today about a number of things, including not only that, but NBA All-Star Weekend. Ken just called with a great idea, which I didn't think there was anything that could save the All-Star Weekend. He had some really interesting suggestions. We haven't talked much yet about Brandon Ayuk. And this is a sore subject between Jay and I, because for some reason, Jay always veers out of his lane to take shots at Brandon Ayuk.
Okay.
That's maybe an overstatement. But Brandon Ayuk's girlfriend, on Monday, she made a TikTok video, and some people were not happy with it. She was picking up Brandon Ayuk at Levi's after the Super Bowl. And she said in the TikTok video, she said, this might have been the last day we touched foot on Levi's Stadium because we might not be out here next season. And later that day, Ayuk shared a curious message on his Instagram story with a pair of eyeball emojis, which read, don't forget what you got there. So now a lot of people, 49er fans, are furious about this. It doesn't surprise me because they picked up his fifth-year option for next year, and then so he's looking for a bigger deal. So this is what happens, isn't it? We went through something similar with Debo a couple of years ago, and that got nasty, and then it got to the point where I was like, okay, we're fine. So I think we're going to be going through these types of things, although there are some like Jay who say they're not that concerned about whether he stays. Right? Is that fair to say?
Kind of. It just depends on the way the question is proposed.
Yeah. Okay. I know I've been kidding, but I want to make sure that we are clear on how you feel. I don't want to misrepresent you.
I think if it's to the point of he's going to, and then when I say Brandon Ayuk is going to ask for top flight wide receiver money. And at this moment, Justin Jefferson and guys like that, they're requesting low 20s, 21, 22, 23 years old, $23 million. And we even see Justin Jefferson saying that he's not even gonna, re-sign unless they figure out some things with Kirk Cousins. And then on the opposite,
which again, I don't blame him.
Yeah, very true. But I think Brandon Ayuk is a very good wide receiver. Let me first put that out.
I think you said last week, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. I think you said you didn't see him as a big-time playmaker?
Correct. I don't think he's a tier 1 guy. I think he's a tier 2 guy. And the reason why I don't think he's a tier 1 guy is there are opportunities and times where, and this, there's a lot of moving factors, but let me say this, and the Super Bowl showed me this. Sometimes greats go make it happen. Brandon Ayuk hasn't made it happen in many ways when it's needed. Like, how many 200-yard games does Brandon Ayuk have under his belt?
I don't know, but I will say to your point.
Be none.
Yeah, they. Let's see. Purdy was like 20th in the league in passes attempted this year.
Agreed.
So there aren't as many opportunities.
Understandable.
As far as being a playmaker, I mean, hello, the Lions were on the phone. I know that was a fluky play, but still, that was a big-time play when the team needed it.
Yeah, but I think that was more of the play call than Brandon Ayuk's, play, his activities during the play.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I one thing I don't want to do is I don't want to get misunderstood. Brandon Ayuk is a top flight receiver in this league.
Okay.
He is not tier 1 guy, though. And if the 49ers are going to have to pay him like a tier 1 guy, then unfortunately, as a 49er fan, this is just me, I wouldn't pay Brandon Ayuk, and it's not my money, but I wouldn't give Brandon Ayuk $22 million a year. That's just me.
I would suggest that there's something about the 49ers system and the players currently in it that seems to take some of the gloss off certain individuals. We see it with the quarterback. He had a magnificent year. We don't know what he's going to become. I understand that. But a lot of people still point to him as a system quarterback. And I think Brandon Ayuk, in a way, he's not allowed to shine as much because he doesn't need to shine. There aren't as many opportunities. Sauce Gardner took to social media to voice his support for Ayuk, stating, Ayuk is one wide receiver I see who gets open the majority of the game, but don't get thrown the ball. And he can win in contested situations. So even if
it's Sauce Gardner open, watching film on 49ers every week.
To make a play on the ball instead of throwing it away, end quote.
But is he making – this is my thing. First of all, Sauce Gardner plays in AFC, plays in AFC North, and he doesn't play against the 49ers but once every 4 years. I'm not saying Sauce Gardner doesn't watch film. I'm not saying Sauce Gardner doesn't watch football. He's also playing 9 times out of 10 as close as possible to the time that Brandon Ayuk is playing. So it's not like he's watching this guy live every single week. That's cool. That's, you know what that is to me? That is a player who respects Brandon Ayuk. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I would venture to tell you that I've watched more film on Brandon Ayuk than Sauce Gardner, and that's the truth. That's okay. I'm not saying Sauce Gardner can't give, compliments and feel a way about Brandon Ayuk. No problem. Please. I feel the same. I also believe there are opportunities and times where he doesn't get open.
He's a great route runner. He's not the fastest receiver.
No, he's not. He's a great route runner, though.
Yeah, and I think that's one. It's like Brock Purdy gets criticized because he doesn't have the big arm. I think Ayuk gets criticized in some corners because he's not very fast. But I still think within the system that they run, the 49ers, maybe they paid for that a little bit this year in the Super Bowl. They have bigger ranger receivers who aren't that fast.
True.
And so maybe you need somebody, they have Danny Gray still is, with the organization.
Can't get on the field.
But Ayuk had his highest catch percentage this year. He had excellent numbers given how often they throw the ball. To me, he is your number one. He's a legit number one. And I think you're better off keeping him than you are hoping you can find somebody who's as productive for you.
But if you're paying him $25 million.
25 seems a little high.
Okay, well, let's go down to the highest paid wide receivers. I just so happen to have that list for you, Whitey. Tyreek Hill's getting $30 million. Is he Tyreek Hill?
No.
I mean, you shouldn't even have to question that. Devontae Adams.
You asked me, so I answered. I didn't question it.
Is he Devontae Adams?
No.
$28 million. Is he Cooper Kupp?
No, he hasn't been as productive, but we're getting in an area where I don't think Cooper Kupp's that much better than
I think Cooper Kupp is living off the last couple of years, and he was hurt this past year, but he got the money. 26.
All right, so 25. I'm coming around to 25.
Okay, Eagles wide receiver A.J. Brown, 25.
Yeah.
Okay, Bills wide receiver Stephon Diggs, 24.
And what I'm sorry, the question is he better than those guys?
I mean, is he doing what these guys are doing? Stephon Diggs is $24 million. You paying Brandon Ayuk 24 to be Stephon Diggs?
The 49ers, I'm around 23 to 25 I can make work. So you got still a little.
You got DK Metcalf at 24. Then you have Debo at 23. You got Terry McLaurin at 23. Bears DJ Moore at 20. Keenan Allen at 20.
Mm-hmm. I'd pay him more around 20. 25 is a little high to me, but I still think he's an excellent wide receiver. He's a legitimate number one receiver.
For the 49ers or in the NFL?
Well, I don't care if I'm the 49ers, not to dodge your question, but I don't care. He's great in my system. And I have a lot of what's the equity in him? Pardon me. I've built him to this point. So that's part of why he's more valuable to me. He knows what we do. I know what he does. And if I bring in somebody else, I don't know that that's going to be there.
I think
so. That's a big part of it.
Sure. I think the familiarity of what he is and what he does for the 49ers is something that I can understand where you're going. I think the part of it, and this is the mind trick I'm having a problem with, is some of these guys who we haven't named are going to get $25 million. And I continue to use Justin Jefferson. And when we're talking about dominant, Brandon Ayuk's not dominant. When we're talking about a difference maker, I'll accept an argument because of the system and who he plays with and for this team.
A lot. Yeah.
I get it. I just don't see superstar. And for you to get paid $25 million as a wide receiver, that's kind of what we're asking for. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think Stephon Diggs is a superstar. I don't think A.J. Brown is a superstar. I think just like quarterbacks, they just hit at the right time, which is where Brandon Ayuk is actually getting ready to. I personally think he's going to get paid $20+ million.
Yes,
I just wouldn't give it to him because I said that 3-4 times in a row. He doesn't quantify it for me.
I got you. To me,
results doesn't show it.
To me, he's clutch on third down. He gets open. I think there's despite some of these complaints from either him or his camp that Brock Purdy doesn't hit him. Brock Purdy obviously has a great deal of trust in him, and you can see that they have a good rapport. He's vitally important to me, in my opinion, if I'm the 49ers. So I don't have any 25. Like I said, me personally, that'd be a little high, but somewhere. 20 between 20 and 25, somewhere in that area, I think he's definitely worth it to me. And especially because this window, next year I got to pay Brock, right?
Yep.
So this is it. I know we said it last year, but with this group, this is it. And he's a big part of that. And I want him to be around and make a run at it.
Yeah, that sounds like you're doing it out of, like I said, familiarity. Like you're doing it for the love of the people that's there. This is a business.
It is. This is just like Farm to Fork.
Yes.
No, I'm not doing it because, he's swell. I'm doing it because right now where I am, I need him. The best I can be next year is with, and of course, I don't have to pay him this year, but you have to come to an agreement this year for next year. I need him. He's my best route runner. He's a big time receiver for me. He's not Jerry Rice, but we don't throw the ball as much as we did when Jerry Rice was with the 49ers. The 49ers need Brandon Ayuk. That's my opinion. I think that's where we differ.
I think they need a person in the form of a Brandon Ayuk, and I think you've also said this. I think they need a
It'd be nice to have
speed
somebody
guy.
Blow the top off the coverage.
Like I could see that. The great part about it is, and I think the reason why this is even in the conversation is because Debo is not your prototypical wide receiver, and he's your other guy on the other side.
Right. He's a great football player.
Yeah, he's a utility guy. Brandon Ayuk is more traditional wide receiver. I get that. Understandable. He ain't even gave me 100 catches in the season yet. And I understand the argument of, well, we don't throw the ball.
Right.
We don't throw. I understand it. But if you can't tell me if Tyreek Hill wasn't here, they wouldn't be trying to throw the ball to him 100, 200 times a year.
They only threw the ball to him, I believe. It
was like 130 times or something.
No,
right?
I think it was 108.
This year?
Let me double check.
Yeah, no, you're right. 105.
105 targets.
114 last year.
Yeah, they only threw the ball to him 105 times. So,
which kind of tells me like they don't really think he's, a star like that.
That's not what it tells me. Maybe you're right. To me, it tells me that they're more interested in running the ball and then throwing it to other players on the team.
Yeah, the system, albeit, definitely slows Brandon Ayuk down. I would also argue that I think over the last couple of years, especially since CMC has been here in 49ers, uniform, that Debo has been utilized and not the way that got him the $100 million that he was signed. And albeit you don't have to.
He gets hurt too much.
That
now.
too. I agree.
It's understandable.
Sure.
I'm not saying
protecting him a little bit,
fragile or anything, but man, for years now, he's just been like a bowling ball.
Agreed.
I
agree. But I think there were opportunities, and this comes down to Shanahan. There were a few opportunities that even in the Super Bowl, I was like, man, just give Debo the ball. Like, just let him go.
I know you were there, but don't you think his hammy probably was a big
part
absolutely.
Of that too? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I'm glad we're saying this because I understand you're telling me the system slows him down, but this is my thing. If you're going to get paid like a top flight star, system or no system, sometimes you just gotta take the ball in your hand and go get it. I don't think Brandon Ayuk can do that. Yeah, and now he's not throwing the ball to himself. Okay, right. Let me clarify that. I don't need nobody to text in. So, well, he's not throwing the ball, Jay. I get it. But it wasn't like he was wide open a lot of times in the Super Bowl either.
He made some good catches. Was it the Green Bay game or the Detroit? I think it's the Detroit game. Like on third down, like bad throws, he made catches.
And he dropped one too.
I don't recall that.
Yeah. And honestly, Whitey, he caught the one that was low after he dropped the ball. Like he kind of owed you one.
I think he's vitally important to what they do.
Hey, I'm not arguing that.
Yeah.
I don't want to argue that. What I do want to argue is I don't think Brandon Ayuk is a top flight star. That's what I'm arguing. I'm not arguing the fact that he's not important to the Niners. I'm not arguing the fact that he can't do what he needs to do in the Niners organization and their system and everything else. I'm just saying if I'm paying you a top, because he wants top probably 5 money. We've heard 22 to 25 right now. That's going to put you in the top 5 wide receivers. Is Brandon Ayuk really in the NFL? I don't remove the 49er stuff. Is he a top 5 NFL wide receiver? I'm saying no. Mm-hmm. You saying yes because he fits the system.
Right.
Is that kind of what we're talking about here?
Yeah, okay. Because he's not going to put up the numbers because they don't throw the ball as much.
Well, that's not my fault.
Then we need it's to not his fault either, which is the point.
Kind of, because you know why? But not because I'm telling you, if it's Tyreek or if it was Justin Jefferson, if it was some of these guys, they'd be forcing him the ball.
Not on the 49ers. I don't think so. On the 49ers. I don't think so.
I disagree with that.
Let's see here. Real quick. Speaking of the 49ers, I wanted to see what you thought of this. Are you ready for the dumbest idea yet for what the 49ers should have done at the start of Super Bowl overtime?
Okay.
All right. This was Mike Florio today wrote about this.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of slow right now, and he's a smart guy. I think he has a law degree. He's a smart guy.
Yes, he is.
He says, hey, 49ers should have onside kicked to start the overtime.
Can we go back to Brandon Ayuk conversation? Mike Florio wanted them.
Yes. Here's what he says. He says, first of all, you catch him by surprise.
Agreed.
He says, let's say you kick off to them and you get the ball. Then that's their possession. And if you score, you win. Now, I don't even know if that's true, but that's what he says.
Sure.
The thing is, of course, 2 things. A, if you onside kick and you don't get it, which you are not going to do the way the rules are now, it's really hard to get an onside kick, then you give the Chiefs great field position. That's the thing. And the other thing is, as I say, it's really hard. Teams don't onside kick as much now unless they absolutely have to, because the way, you got to stand in one place. Mm-hmm. The rules are different. It's really, really, really hard, harder than ever to get an onside kick. But I did think that was interesting. I hadn't thought of that. 49ers should have kicked to the Chiefs, but they should have tried an onside kick.
That's hindsight because they took the loss. What
you don't like that idea?
No, yeah, I'd rather play it out. But I understand where he's coming from. I guess look, Sean Payton style, but as you said, Whitey, there's almost a fraction of a percent to recover an onside kick. I know you've been caught on by surprise, but no.
Even then, the rules are the same. Even if you catch them by surprise, you're like, I know, but you can't run up to,
Correct. And if I'm not mistaken, you can no longer make contact with the first person.
Oh.
I believe, and I
would have been tricky.
That. Yes.
Would have been tricky, but maybe the 49ers would be Super Bowl champions if they'd had the guts, if Kyle Shanahan had the guts to try an onside kick to start the overtime.
Yeah, good. Try it.
Mike Florio's view. Are you ready to play some sign, sit, or see ya?
Yes.
All right, we do that with 49er free agents. More on the Kings coming up as well. Do they have a run left in them? It's the Drive Guys rolling on here on Sactown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com.
The first time I tried to quit vaping, I told myself that it was like a mountain that I had to climb over. And once I got to the other side, it would be clear. But I couldn't make it over. What really got me to quit was my little sister. I saw her vaping. So I was back in the mountain, but this time she was up there with me. It's weird what you can do for others that you won't do for yourself.
Every attempt is part of your story to quit for good. Visit Kick It California today at kickitca.org.
God, I'm so stressed. It's a brand new year and our business is busier than ever.
Uma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Uma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 35 features.
Uma?
Yep. Switching to Uma is a cinch. Starts at $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Uma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Uma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Uma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
Has Monty put together a roster that can help make a deep playoff run this season?
Just trying to give coach options, give him guys that can help us win in a variety of areas. Obviously, our top guys are going to play every game, but there's going to be other times, whether it's injuries, matchups, we've got to have some variety on the bench for coach to point to and say, go in there and help us win.
Tune into every Kings game this season
On Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by AutoAccident.com.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Skies will stay cloudy with a chance of showers and thunderstorms through the early evening. Later on tonight, that activity will diminish. Tomorrow we'll have a mixture of sun and clouds with just a chance of a shower and highs in the low 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA3 app.
When accidents turn life upside down, AutoAccident.com is in your corner. Compassionate advice, loyal support, and the courage to fight for you. AutoAccident.com. That's AutoAccident.com.
It was 1879 when the first President's Day was established, and it's been a holiday ever since. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. I'm guessing when the Keys family opened the first Naturewood Home Furnishing store in 1948, a President's Day sale was not top of the mind. But the family probably celebrated the holiday with a picnic and a big slice of cherry pie. The store name Naturewood was selected to reflect the quality of the wood furniture for sale. And that focus on quality continues today with brands like FlexSteel, Trailway, Stickley, Fusion Designs, Stanton, and many, many more. The Naturewood Home Furnishings President's Day sale is the perfect time for you to find the right accent piece for your living room, a new bed for your bedroom, or to completely refurnish your entire home. See all the fine furniture and accessories on sale with Naturewood's President's Day sale. Find that perfect piece of furniture that's new today and filled with memories for tomorrow. Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Discover your dream home at Subcontractors United, your source for all home improvement needs. A talented team of home services experts is ready to make your projects a breeze. No more endless internet searches. Find your contractors in one place. Enjoy stress-free service absolutely free, with no hidden costs and no accounts to set up. Transform your living space into something extraordinary. Visit Subcontractors United today and experience the joy of hassle-free home improvement. Dream big at subcontractorsunited.com.
No fees on all Kings tickets happening now. You can experience Sacramento Kings basketball live with no fees on all remaining games. Watch as the Kings take on the top teams in both conferences, including big matchups against the Bucks, Lakers, Knicks, Clippers, and more. Score big on tickets and cheer on the Beam team as they make a push for the playoffs. Don't miss out. This limited time offer is only valid until February 20th. Visit kings.com/no fees to take advantage of this deal today.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening, Chad, for Chrysler's President's Day sale?
I haven't been this excited about a deal in a long time. Right now, you can save $18,000 off MSRP on new 2023 Jeep Gladiator EcoDiesels. This thing can get up to 28 miles per gallon on the highway, and it's the perfect combination of off-road fun and work truck. Plus, it's the #1 new quality vehicle among midsize trucks, according to J.D. Power.
And you're selling them with an $18,000 discount? That seems a little crazy.
Well, we do things a little different here at Hoblet. We're here to help you find the vehicle you need at the best possible price. That's why we don't have a bunch of dealer markups, surprise add-ons, or fees. At Hoblet, you get the small town experience with the big city savings and selection.
There's no better time to take advantage of this savings at Hoblet. See their full selection at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
At Hoblet, you get the small town experience with the big city savings, selection, and no surprise hidden fees.
$18,000 net savings after $11,096 factory rebates and $1,694 dealer discounts. Rebates may include $500 first responder bonus cash. Must be current member of eligible first responder association. Qualify 5 at this net savings. Temple VIN 553-385. See dealer for details.
They do not know what Sactown brings. When on the low, that's a Sactown thing. Talking about us, it's a bounce out thing. Must they forgot we some Sacramento Kings. Whole squad going crazy, yeah, we back with it. Northern Cali going crazy, one sack winning. If you doubted us, then ain't no back spinning. This is real right here, ain't no catfish.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
Anxiously awaiting the resumption of the NBA season Thursday, Kings and the San Antonio Spurs. And we'll get back to the Kings in a moment here. Do the Kings have a run in them second half of this season? How much do they need to make a run here to end up anywhere near where they want to end up? It's a Drive Guys here. It's Whitey and Jay. Kyle Draper back with us tomorrow. Let's get to the phones here. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. AC joins us. What's up, AC? How can we help you today?
Hey, you guys had some fun at my expense last time when I talked about KC winning the Super Bowl, even though I'm a Dolphins fan. But
oh, that's right.
We do have Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
So let's not put that up there. Did you see, like you, Whitey, I didn't watch the actual game for the All-Star situation.
Uh-huh.
Did you watch any of the NFL Pro Bowl games?
I didn't, and I'm not, so I can't sit here and say it was this or was that. I don't know. I didn't actually watch any of it. Did you?
So I watched a little bit of it, and it was a mess. And so I don't think there's any real clear answer when you're talking about an all-star game, whether it's NHL or NBA or NFL, and you're worrying about injuries and contracts and things like that. But I have a way to make the 49er fans feel better, by the way. Did you see the Eli Manning commercial where he's talking about Tom Brady as a GOAT?
Uh-huh.
So fast forward a few years, you got Purdy living up to all his expectations. He becomes the new GOAT, but then out of the woodwork comes Mahomes and says, I beat him twice.
Okay. I'd say I knew. I knew it was not going to go well. I just kind of let him spend his fuel and just kind of fade into the nothingness there. That's kind of a cheap shot, isn't it?
It's a veteran.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of the Super Bowl, Manny Too Legit says, hey, Whitey, you should ask JJ, how was the experience at the Super Bowl? Would love to know. He talked about it a little bit when he got back, but okay. How was it?
Thought it was great, man. It was one of the better ones that I've been to. I've been blessed to go to a handful of them. I really enjoyed this one. I thought, as I said to you guys earlier, last week, that I felt more fans, like actual, not average, I won't call anybody average fan, but the average fan compared to the last few Super Bowls I've had the opportunity. It seems like more big business, more farm to fork, less city of trees. And so I think I thought, and Vegas is Vegas. And the great part about Vegas, unlike most of the other Super Bowls I've ever went to, you have pretty much like a 1.5 mile radius where everybody is 9 times out of 10 going to be. Of course, you can be downtown Fremont area, but I thought it was way more consistent of fans, more the normal Joe, the average Joe compared to the other Super Bowls. I thought Vegas did a fantastic job in the welcoming of plenty of entertainment. I thought they had a lot to do, more than usual, a lot of big names in town.
Did you see any indication whatsoever that Las Vegas was interested in the A's?
No.
Okay. And I know that, the Super Bowl, they're focusing on other
absolutely,
things,
but I asked.
Yeah.
We asked a few people. I actually tried to get the mayor and I tried to get kind of like what Mike Testa is for here, the CEO of Visit Sacramento, like their guy, their person in Las Vegas, which was a gentleman. And I tried to get the entertainment like CEO of Las Vegas on, but we just didn't have time and couldn't make it happen. But tried to get all three of those people on because for that very reason, I want to ask about the Oakland A's. The people that I ask, like Q Myers, guys who are radio hosts in Las Vegas, and to the person, most people are like, they'd be fourth, fifth, sixth fiddle here in Las Vegas. Like probably behind the Aces, probably behind, like even one person was like, man, they be on UNLV status.
Wow.
Someone said that, so I just don't think because it's homegrown and, one thing about it is if they were putting a better product on the field, Whitey, I think more people would be open and welcoming, but the A's are putting on a product to where it's like, me and you can join the team.
The product is, you could. Yeah. The product is bad. Also, the whole process has been so slipshod and amateurish and embarrassing. It's no surprise, the consumers there in Vegas see that and go, I don't want anything to do with this. I don't understand why baseball doesn't realize that. Either the end game is, something that we don't see and they don't care about this, or they're just that oblivious. I don't know. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Lewis joins us, Sactown Sports. Hey, Lewis, how are you?
Hey, how are you? How are y'all tonight?
Good.
So here's my thing. A lot of folks weren't happy with the All-Star game. And I'm on the exact polar opposite of that. It's like I saw Dame Lillard hit half-court threes. It was cool. It met my personal expectations. I'm a little bit surprised, frankly, that the media has really put forward their displeasure. They just weren't pleased. But to me, it was great. With that being said, here's what I really want to get to, and it has to do with the Sacramento Kings. Right? So I'm just in my mind. I'm thinking about the playoffs. I'm thinking about Pelicans, a big long team. I'm thinking about the Clippers, a big long team, and I'm thinking about the Timberwolves, a big long team. And guess what I'm thinking?
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking maybe we need to put Sabonis at the 4, Keegan at the 3, and then bring in either Lynn or
JaVale McGee.
JaVale McGee, right? To match up specifically with those guys. And here we go. We got 30 games left, right? I think Coach Brown needs to take 3 or 4 of these games to experiment with that sort of philosophy, because we're going to run them against some teams that are big and long. Thanks, guys. I appreciate your time.
All right, thank you for the call. I know that has been kind of kicked around. I know back media day, Chris Watkins and I talking to Alex Lynn, and he mentioned that. He said, Coach has been talking maybe about putting me on the floor with Domas. We haven't seen it. Maybe I don't know. Have we seen it at all? I think the biggest issue is defensively. Domas at the 4, and then whichever one you have at the 5. Defense is already such a challenge for the Kings. I don't think they feel they can afford to do that because of what it does defensively. Also, you like to have Domas high as a center, and then that kind of clears things out. You don't want to have a center clogging up things underneath. But you're not the first one to suggest that, Lewis. It's just I think at this point, unless it's something that they're saving for a particular matchup, maybe we'll see it. Other than that, I don't think that we will. Real quick here, Jay. I wanted to run down this exercise back to the 49ers for just a minute, then we'll wrap things up with the Kings and the NBA.
Sure.
This is called, we'll just run down these 49er free agents. It's called sign, sit, or see ya. Sign is like, just sign the guy.
Just get him.
All right? Sit is like, well, sit down. We need to talk about this. Not sure. See ya is like, no, we're done.
He's
all right?
out.
We'll just run down these quickly. Chase Young, you going to sign, sit, or see ya?
Sit.
Yeah, to me, it's see ya.
Ooh.
Yeah, because of the fact that in the Lions game, I had to point out that, hey, some of my guys weren't trying as hard, and he was one of the ones that you could see on film. He wasn't trying as hard. That's not acceptable.
I would just say maybe he hasn't he hasn't formulated the idea of the 49er way, and he needs to sit down over off season. Hey, listen,
So
you play here?
Yeah. So you want to sit down? You want to talk to him?
Yeah, I want to talk
it?
to him.
All right. I'm seeing you. Javon Kinlaw. Let me just say, healthy, finally had a good year. 49ers did not pick up his 5th-year option, so he may be pricey.
I say sit, depending on what he wants.
See ya.
Okay.
I think he's going to be too expensive.
I think so too,
It's
but
too
that's
bad.
why I'm at least taking him.
Yeah. Tayshaun Gibson's, let's see. John Lynch said, never did I think he'd give us what he's given us a year in $2.9 million last year. He will be 34.
Yeah. See, I think Jair Brown has shown that he can man that position, and I think once Talanoa Hufanga comes back, you have your safeties of the future.
I want to at least see.
Okay.
He's a very good soldier.
He
for
is.
Me. Sam Darnold.
See
ya. John Feliciano.
I'll sit. Take a little time.
See ya.
Okay.
I don't appreciate what he did.
All right. Understandable.
Burford under the bus.
Yeah, Burford might be a C, even though he's not a free agent. But yeah, I got you.
Yeah, he may be a C anyway. Yeah. Yeah, so he got a contract. That's all right.
That's all right.
Cleveland Farrell, productive, torn meniscus in week 18.
Yeah.
Earned $2.5 million last year.
See ya. Bye-bye.
I would want to sit with him, but I don't think it's going to go well.
Okay.
Ray McLeod.
See ya.
Only $2 million last year.
No, I think he's going to get a little more somewhere else, but I would sit with him. I'm playing.
You're just mad because of that.
Yeah. And it wasn't their fault.
Right.
He should have. Well, it was a kind of. You got to fall on it.
Yeah. And then the last one. Let's see. I didn't say on Ray. You said sit.
I'll say sit.
I'd sign him. I'd like.
Oh.
Because he's inexpensive and it's such a need for me. Finally, Randy Gregory, 2.5 sacks last year. See ya.
Yeah. See ya. See ya. Bye.
All right. So I think we probably saved a little bit of money there that we can use
for Ayuk.
Brandon Ayuk. Yes. When we come back, the Kings, do they have a run in them? And we still haven't gotten around to LeBron. Says he wants to finish as the Lakers. That's best for his legacy. Drive Guys here on Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Skies will stay cloudy with a chance of showers and thunderstorms through the early evening. Later on tonight, that activity will diminish. Tomorrow we'll have a mixture of sun and clouds with just a chance of a shower and highs in the low 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA 3 app.
Doug Christie here. It's Folsom Lake Kia's President's Day sales event. Save on new 2024 Kias with low payments, low finance rates, and zero down deals on approval of credit. Shop Folsom Lake Kia in the Folsom Auto Mall.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
And now another no-brainer money-saving tip from Progressive.
Marcus, what happened?
I was changing my oil and I spilled some on the floor.
Oh, well, use these $50 bills to wipe it up.
Perfect. Got any more?
Yeah, take a couple hundred.
Stop. Instead of using money, use an old rag. And here's a better tip from Progressive on how not to waste money. Don't pay too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
This year, Dell Technologies wants to help you do amazing things with their best tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 13 Plus, powered by Intel Core processors, and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology to match your forward-thinking spirit and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
Time is 5:44. This update is brought to you by Subcontractors United, your source for all home improvement needs. Dream big at subcontractorsunited.com.
Elevate your drive with Acura of Stockton's President's Day savings. Unleash luxury and precision in a new Acura Integra, RDX, MDX, or TLX. Quality meets affordability with savings on our best selection. Get to AcuraofStockton.com and start your experience today. Own the road in style. Visit us today or go to AcuraofStockton.com. Elevate your drive with Acura of Stockton, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips.
Time to check out Capital Casino, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Thanks for being with us today. We got Drapes back tomorrow. It's Whitey and Jay. You know, we've been talking a lot last couple of shows about the A's maybe coming here and the whole move to Vegas. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention what Casey Pratt had to say today on the Carmichael Dave show. This is very interesting. Long story short, he says that the ballpark renderings the A's released in the summer of 2023, you know, the Las Vegas plans, says those renderings have been scrapped. No new renderings have been released. Then on March 8th and 9th, this year's big league weekend in Vegas, putting the A's against the Brewers. They're going to play a spring training game. Casey Pratt says they initially said they were going to put out the renderings there after they postponed them yet again in December. If they don't put out anything by big league weekend in March, this thing is probably not happening. End quote. That's Casey Pratt's opinion. So are the A's going to come here to Sacramento? I don't think so, because I don't think the A's are ever going to Vegas. So I don't think they need an interim home, because I don't think they're going anywhere. We'll see. What a debacle.
It's a big time. Big time. I mean, they're not going to have renderings by next week or a couple weeks.
Yeah.
March 11th or whatever. That's 2.5 3 weeks or so.
Dave Cavill, the night before, he gets, you got any paper?
And just sketching it.
Yeah. Like, all right, well, that's a diamond, and I can do a diamond and then a dome, and there. Okay, it's our renderings. What do you think?
Man, did you see the renderings? Do you remember them? Remember that big glass dome around it and everything?
Yeah, there was that big thing that was like a halo that I think was what was retracting the roof,
Yes.
or I don't know. It did look very space age.
Yes, that's not happening.
It was like almost instantly people said, yeah, you can't do that.
No.
That's not possible.
I mean, and it has to be in a dome. In Las Vegas in the summertime, you need AC. You got to have that thing jumping with AC.
Yeah, and nowadays, I mean, if you're going to build a facility,
get your Freon
you
right.
don't have a retractable. I don't think it'd be retractable, right?
No.
If you're going to have baseball, people have to have that option.
Yes.
You can, on those perfect days, you can take the roof
And
off.
let me say this too, Whitey, when it comes to
Tear the
that
roof
is the A's have shown to be a propensity of being cheap.
What?
Yeah. They don't want to spend a lot of money
No.
for whatever reason it is. So when you start to put roofs and retractable things and AC and things that we consider common now in a lot of these arenas, yeah, but we're also talking about $1 billion. Right now, they're far from $1 billion from public money, from Bally's money, from private money. Like they're not even close to $1 billion right now.
Yeah, and you've got more and more people, it seems, who are making it known that if he wants to sell, we're in.
Yes.
Maybe the price has gone up because of that. So maybe it's all going to work out for everybody. That's fine if it works out for John Fisher. I'm fine with that. As long as he goes away. I don't care. Be happy, whatever. I don't wish you any misery, but just go away. Get out of our way of enjoying baseball.
Yes.
Yeah.
An A's uniform.
Mm-hmm.
Oof,
Yeah.
lovely. It sounds like a lot of this is starting to crumble in for the A's.
It does.
Yeah, like the roof, talking about the roof. The roof is really crumbling in, and albeit, and it sounds like I don't have any better way to say it, but I'm happy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I want the A's to be here in Oakland under new ownership. I'm happy.
I've been trying to think of any aspect of this proposed move from Oakland to Las Vegas, any part of it that has been professional, on point, positive. I can't, it's all been just, the whole thing has been a disaster, hasn't it?
That's a great way of putting it.
I don't know if that's an exaggerate. I don't mean to exaggerate. I can't think of anything about it that's gone like the way these things are supposed to go.
Yeah, that's a great point. There's really nothing that has happened on the first attempt, the first try. They're not leaving the city in a in a great way. It seems like, there's a lot of animosity between the city and the A's ownership. It doesn't seem as if like the city of Las Vegas is on board.
No.
There are bits and parts and pieces of, as I've said, like statewide they're looking for it, but city-wise they're not looking for, the Oakland A's to come to Las Vegas. You might be onto something there, brother.
Everything has gone wrong.
Yes.
We know that in the past, the NBA has talked about expansion and they would want to go presumably to Las Vegas and Seattle. LeBron has talked about maybe owning a team in Vegas. LeBron over the All-Star weekend said he wants to finish his career as a Laker. Good for him. Do you think, taking the bigger view of his career and his legacy, is the best thing for LeBron James' legacy finishing up his career as a Laker, in your opinion?
I would say yes, with the only caveat, the only bigger thing that could happen is if he went back to Cleveland. I think if he had one last run attempt at Cleveland, especially with them being good, right now, if you added LeBron to that team, and of course you'd have to subtract one or two pieces, but you add a LeBron to the Donovan Mitchells and the Mobleys and the Jared Allens, like those guys, Paris LeVerts or whatever, I think
really good
you're
team.
cooking. Yeah, you're cooking.
I think what would be best for his legacy, and this just disregards all the things that go into his life. He's a human being, and that's more important.
Sure.
But just looking at the basketball issues, let's see, he's one of four guys who's won a championship with three different teams. It's Danny Green, Robert Horry, and John Sally and him. If LeBron, if he could go like to the Knicks and win a championship before he were done, can you imagine? He'd be the only guy with championships with four teams, and to get the Knicks back to being champions. Now, I guess last week he might have put out some feelers and got like crickets back from the Knicks, so they might not be interested. I don't know how interested he is, but think of what that would do for his legacy.
I hadn't thought about going to the Knicks and winning a championship. That's big time right there. That might trump the Cleveland situation. You might be onto something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very unlikely, but that would be because he's probably not going to catch Michael. But if you can, he didn't get as many, but four different teams winning championships for four different teams, that'd be impressive. He's probably not going to win another one no matter what he does.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, but to have he would have five if he snuck that one in. So he would have two Miami, one Cleveland, one Los Angeles, and with the asterisk, of course, pandemic. But
thank you for pointing that out.
Absolutely, I don't count it, but on paper you got to throw it in there. Just as the other one I don't count the strike year, the Spurs over the Knicks. That doesn't count, but whatever.
Well, how about wasn't 2011 also a lockout year? It was shortened, and that would be LeBron over the Thunder.
Yeah.
So he's got a couple of that.
Yeah, something there, Whitey. I like your detraction of LeBron here. Well, LBJ, where you going there? Yeah. Okay. So what you're telling me is when it's shorter, he goes all out. When it's longer, it's a little tough.
Oh, and don't forget, he's got a play-in tournament championship.
Yeah.
Michael never did that.
Yeah, all right. Well, you count that if you want to, as I know he will. But it'd be very interesting if he went to New York and won a championship.
Yeah.
Because he's not a Knick. Like most people wouldn't consider him a Knick, but that's kind of almost like, I'm going over here to showcase I can do it.
Knick fans, I cannot believe that the Knicks, who, very well funded, crown jewel of a franchise, they haven't won a championship since 1973. It's hard to believe.
Tough, yeah.
So my point is LeBron, yeah, he's not a Knick, but if he were to go there and they were to win, I don't think anybody would care.
Sold out every night, too. MSG is sold out every night.
Yeah.
Man. Have you been to MSG?
I have not.
I have not either.
I've had food with MSG in it.
Yes.
That's as close as I've come to actually seeing a Knicks game. Real quick here, do you think the Kings have a run in them, a second half? Like I'm talking about 6, 7 or more game winning streak.
6 or 7, that's up there.
A run, some kind of run. I think Mark Jones was on the station last week. He said, "Oh yeah, here we go."
Yeah, well, Mark gets to travel, and he's part of the organization, and I respect that. I would say 6 or 7 for me is a little high. I give you 4. I think they make a run of 4 here and there.
Yeah, that's not really a run.
Yeah,
you may be right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're going to end up right about where they are. And I know you could make the point that they're right there. They could end up 5th or 6th. It's all about, are they really inferior to the Pelicans, or are the Pelicans have just have as the ball bounced their way every time they've played this year?
Sure. Yeah, I think that. And we're getting ready to really find out, the nitty gritty of this team when it comes to rotation. We had Brendan on talking about rotation. And the other part of it is because we know it's going to shrink. That 10, 9, or you might see 7, 8, a couple of nights. But I also think, time is money when it comes to the stars now. And so we'll see how they operate and move forward as well.
I think the Kings are likely to be in the play-in, and the West being what it is this year, there is no shame in that as long as you can get out of the play-in. So obviously a lot of pizza left in the box. Thank you very much, Jay. Back with Jay and Kyle Draper tomorrow. Thank you for being with us. We appreciate your listening to The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
The only place you'll find Malik Monk is Sactown Sports.
Oh my, what an athletic move that time by Malik Monk.
Hey Sacramento, it's Malik Monk, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.